Well, hello, everyone. Happy almost Monday, but still Sunday, at least for the moment anyway. This is a surprise late night stream, so I'm going to give people just a second to pop in. I am really sorry that I took so long to join you here tonight. The reason is that my husband was very excited about something that he wanted to show me, and we just finished up movie night in my supporter Discord. Thank you to Jennifer, who is in the chat, for again hosting an amazing movie night. We watched They Live, and it was really great. And I've seen They Live about a million times at this point, but I mean, I never get sick of watching it. Like I said it before, I'll say it again. If you have not seen They Live yet, you need to watch They Live. You just really need to, because it is just so good. It is so relevant to our time. It was so intelligent, and we had a great time. And just so you know, guys, movie night in my supporter Discord is not just that we're like watching the movie. We like Jennifer does such a good job, and John Morgan, when he hosted movie night, he did a great job as well of stopping the movie and discussing trivia and discussing different points throughout the movie. So we stop movies usually like 3 times throughout the movie to talk about different plot lines and what's going on and the relevance to the world and those sorts of things. And we have a great discussion. And so that's on my supporter Discord. You can become a member of my supporter Discord by joining my locals or Patreon, or even by becoming a member of this channel. If you become a member of my YouTube channel, it's not my preferred way that people support me, but if that's what you want, like whatever's clever for you, I will post a link out to our supporter Discord for channel members. So that's another option that you guys have. You can come and join us next. I believe Jennifer said we're doing it next week or the week after. I'm pretty sure it was next week. Anyway, we're going to be doing many more movie nights. We're going to be doing them very frequently, and that is thanks to the illustrious Jennifer and the other members of my community that may host them as well. All right, guys, welcome to Nitwits number 2. Now, I didn't really plan to do this. I didn't. I was like, man, I'm gonna relax, have a nice Sunday. I actually posted a bunch of clips to the channel today, so I felt I was feeling really productive. I have a whole bunch more clips that I cut that haven't been posted yet, but will be this week. And I was like, I'm just gonna sit back, relax. We had movie night. I was gonna go hang out, maybe even get to bed early. Okay, like that would ever happen. But you know what the thing is CHRISSIE MAYR has been talking about me almost incessantly for the past couple of days. It seems as though my Nitwit stream from the other night may have hit a sore spot of sorts. Because why would she keep talking about me, and specifically my weight, if CHRISSIE wasn't feeling, well, a little inferior? A little inferior. Let me give you an example of what CHRISSIE has been saying on her Twitter, and I was just pulling her Twitter up as we were getting ready for the call today. I want to see, she tweeted about me twice today, 3 times today. Was that yesterday? Oh, she's retweeting stuff about me. Oh, CHRISSIE MAYR, CHRISSIE, I'm sorry. I don't want to date you. I think you're really fucking dumb. I really do. But like she's like her and Keri are like all above board right now. They're like totally fucking losing their minds. And I just want to show you a couple things that CHRISSIE has tweeted about me within the last couple of hours. So check this out. Now, this is basically the epitome of this type of influencer, if you will. If you guys remember my last Nitwit stream, I was learning how to become an influencer from the illustrious CHRISSIE MAYR. And what did we learn from the last video? And don't worry, I'm going to show you the knitting as well. What did we learn from the last video? We learned that in order for me to be an influencer, I need to go to the gym. I need to lose a couple of pounds. I need to wear low-cut shirts so that my boobs are always hanging out. I need to drink Coors Light. I need to talk like this and talk very slowly, and I need to lose at least 60 IQ points. At least 60. I can't be an influencer and be smart at the same time. I have to lose at least 60 IQ points to be able to better fit in with what CHRISSIE MAYR wants me to do. So I have to get a boob job and a really good push-up bra and a lot of tank tops, and I need to lose weight, and I need to be much dumber than I am now. This is for real. This is for real. So I blocked CHRISSIE MAYR a long time ago on Twitter because I really do not have much use for this woman at all in any way. And CHRISSIE was very upset when I blocked her because, that meant that she couldn't tag me in things and retweet things and insult me to her little horde. And so CHRISSIE demanded that I unblock her, and I told her to go fuck herself. And so then CHRISSIE blocked me and then complained that I blocked her because what would happen is I was replying to CHRISSIE's tweets about me with videos from the other night, and she didn't like that at all because she couldn't see them because I had blocked her. And then CHRISSIE, she just kept saying that, oh my God, Carlin, I'm really worried about Carlin's health. She really just needs to go to the gym. She's Oh, do you know what she tweeted the other day? Oh, check this out. This is even worse. I should have showed you guys this first. Oh my God, this bitch. Look at this. Look at this. Hang on. We're going to scroll. Oh, there I am. Oh, there I am again. These people are obsessed with me. I swear to, there I am again. Here's the best one. I tweeted at her. I said, CHRISSIE, I promise that I'm not the one lacking in self-awareness because we're going to watch this stream tonight. We're going to watch this. The one I was quoting. I will talk about that in a second. But I said, basically in this clip, CHRISSIE talks about how Carlin is really lacking in self-awareness, and she is just living in a state of lack. And she is what happens when people just live in a mindset of lack rather than a mindset of abundance. And so I said, CHRISSIE, I'm pretty sure I'm not actually the one lacking in self-awareness at this particular moment. And CHRISSIE MAYR, because she's a good and kind person, tweeted, why shoot yourself in the foot, Carlin? Just wait a few years and let the diabetes take it. Huh. Isn't that nice of her? Isn't that nice of her? Isn't that nice? And then we can see she's retweeting me, people talking about me there. Oh my God, I'm living rent-free in this woman's head, aren't I? Even more so. We're going to have another Keri Smith at any moment. No, I'm sorry. CHRISSIE believes that I'm really 400 pounds because CHRISSIE is only used to being around bulimic influencers, lizard. CHRISSIE is only used to being around anorexic and bulimic influencers, and she really thinks that that's normal. Not the brightest crown in the box. So this kept going on and on and on. Here's another one about me. Another one. This is how you can really, by the way, guys, this is how you can really tell you get under someone's skin. Don't think that I'm like sweating this at all. I want to make that very clear. This is how I know that I triggered CHRISSIE MAYR to well, quite frankly, more the level that I thought I was going to trigger her. So I'm sure she's going to react real well to this stream. So anyway, so this is one of the first ones she sent about me today. I will block Carlin when she posts proof that she's joined a gym, not just a K-Fab, but I want to see her on the treadmill or weightlifting. I just can't seriously engage with someone like her on Twitter because she does not respect herself. And you know what screams respect for me? You know what screams to me being a responsible person is retweeting something that looks like a 5-year-old retarded child drew it. This to me just screams being a responsible and serious person is retweeting things like this that look like a 5-year-old retard drew them. Actually, no, that. You know, I apologize, guys. That was a horrible thing for me to say. 5-year-old retards are way better artists than that. That was a horrible thing for me to say. And just so you guys know, too, this person that Chrissy is retweeting has drawn hundreds of these about me. This person is more obsessed with me than anyone on the internet. They have literally drawn hundreds of these about me. Doesn't that scream serious person to you? Doesn't that scream person that we should be looking to for guidance? Doesn't that scream that this is a credible and responsible person? I mean, come on. And I hadn't even seen this other one. So I tweeted back at her. I said, you know why Chrissy is so obsessed with my body? Because she knows getting fucked is her only path to fame in this lifetime, and she projects her limitations onto everyone else. And Chrissy said, getting fucked by who? My fiance, girl, you really do put the lol in loco. Let's be real here for a second. We all know that CHRISSIE MAYR is not just getting fucked by her fiance. Every single one of us knows that. Every single one of us knows that, Chrissy. Even your fiance knows that. We all know you're sucking a dick every night of the week, and it may or may not be the same dick you sucked the night before. We can take one look at you and tell that quite clearly, honey. My God. My God. So that's what I have been dealing with today. And I just thought it would be a really nice opportunity to blow off some steam. I wasn't really feeling all that tired. I was like, "Man, why don't we do something fun?" And so I decided that we were going to do our second episodes of Nitwits tonight, and we're going to be watching, I'll show you. Hang on. We're going to be watching CHRISSIE MAYR's podcast this week with my number one stalker, the woman who is obsessed with me more than anyone else on the internet is obsessed with me. The one, the only, the good Christian herself, Keri Karen Smith. And yes, Keri's real name is Karen Marie Smith, for those of you who are the nosy type bot. We're going to be watching Chrissy and Karen. Because here's the thing, man. Listen, the other night, I watched some of Content House. And I tricked CHRISSIE MAYR. Well, I didn't trick CHRISSIE MAYR. Someone else tricked CHRISSIE MAYR. But I took pride. I made the clip and I fucking gloated in this till Kingdom Come. CHRISSIE MAYR was tricked into retweeting a fucking parody account. I'm not running the parody account, but I know who is. And that was a plan that was just executed fucking perfectly. It was so beautiful. And it was so great. Basically, what happened is one of my community members made a parody account about Keri. And we convinced Chrissy, who was not paying attention, that it was actually Keri's account. And then Chrissy retweeted it, which inevitably really pissed Keri off. And it was fucking glorious. It all happened on the stream. There is a clip on Twitter about it, if you're interested in that, or you can watch the stream. But we're gonna be here's really the point. Maybe I just didn't give Chrissy a fair shake. Maybe I judged Chrissy too hard based on Content House alone, and based on the stream that Chrissy did with the porn stars. Maybe if Chrissy is on a stream with someone that is significantly smarter than her, like Keri is, and I will actually acknowledge that Keri is significantly smarter than her, maybe Chrissy will come across as more smart if she is around people that are not porn stars. Maybe. So what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to watch the stream and I'm going to comment on it, and the chances of me acting like an overt bitch and making fun of this woman are pretty high, I would say. I would say they're right up there, because I can't imagine anyone that deserves it more. Let's see. I'm not reading that name. They are not smart. My trolling went over their heads. I thought I was, I think that's supposed to be on her side. Well, here's the thing. It's like in the last stream that we watched, I was legitimately shocked at how retarded this woman is. I did not think she was this dumb. I had heard about her. I didn't think that she was like the brightest crown in the box. That's why I never looked into her. It's why I never even bothered. But I was, I mean, I was really shocked at how dumb this woman is. And all of them too. And like I can find redeeming qualities in almost anyone. I don't understand this at all in any way, but I'm gonna give it another shot. I'm gonna hear Chrissy out. Maybe Chrissy will redeem herself. Maybe she will say one or two intelligent things that we can give her credit for. We always want to give credit when stupid people say smart things because, that's the right thing to do. A broken clock is right twice a day. And I'm just gonna give it a try and we're gonna see what happens. And if she is as dumb as I believe she is, then I'm just gonna sit here and mock her relentlessly, and you guys can watch or not watch, and it is entirely up to you. Now, a couple of orders of business before we get started. Number one order of business. I just want to show you guys my channel for a second. Now, the reason I want to show you my channel is because inevitably on this stream, I'm going to have comments to the effect of, Carlin, your channel has just become all drama. You do not do anything serious. You have changed so much, Carlin. I have been a fan since the beginning, and you have just changed so much. And now the only content you do is drama. Well, no, the only content I do is not drama. That is completely untrue. So, if you do not like this sort of content, listen, I can understand that. It is a perfectly respectable position to take. It really is. And instead of complaining that you don't like this content, what I'm going to advise you to do is go watch something else. And so here are some things you can watch. You can watch yesterday's Socialism Saturday. You can watch me talking about how Turning Point USA made $40 million last year in donations and didn't do anything with them except throw parties. You can watch this amazing live stream I did last week with Joseph Ford Cotto, where we analyzed the midterms and talked about why the Republicans lost and what they need to do differently. You can watch Nothing Remotely Controversial, a weekly show that I do with Joshua. You can watch this. This is such an underviewed episode. Listen, this was a great episode with my friend Dave Benner, who has just written a new book about Thomas Paine, talking about why Thomas Paine is the ultimate radical. It was a phenomenal discussion. You can avail yourself of that. That is probably, to be really honest, watching that Thomas Paine discussion is probably a much better use of your time than the stream we're going to do tonight. Mark Robichaud, I think I recognize you from another channel. Are you cheating on Adam with me, Mark? I think you are. That's okay. I don't mind. I don't mind. You can watch both. I don't care. Mark, who doesn't secretly love drama? I love drama. I can watch drama all day. Well, Mark, you're in the right place tonight, my friend. Welcome. Have a seat. But anyway, guys, the point is that I do lots of different types of content. You can watch my Schools Exposed streams. You can watch my Disenraged streams. The triggering streams are kind of, dramatic. You can watch Spy Stream. You can go peruse the archives of Socialism Saturday. You can watch me completely debunk Katie Herzog as a journalist. I have all sorts of stuff on my channel. And if this is not your cup of tea, I totally understand. I really, really do. But just don't watch this. Go watch something else. It's really not that big of a deal. Don't worry, Mark, your secret is safe with me. I'll never tell. Don't worry about it. All right, guys, the final order of business before we get started is because this is a Nitwit stream. I need to show you what I'm knitting, and I will be knitting tonight. Part of the purpose of Knitwits is for me to knit while I am watching content that I would otherwise be watching on my couch while knitting, and doing it with friends instead. And it's hard for me to show you what I'm knitting, so instead I have pulled up the pattern. You're going to see different colors, but this is what I'm still working on. Same project as last time. I'm still working on the West Knits Mystery Knit Along, which looks like this when it's done. That's the full view of it. And so I basically, last time I was working on this side of the garment, and now I've finished that and I'm moving over and doing the other side. So how this one is knit is it's knit modularly. First you do this section up top, then you do this section, then you do this section, then you do this section, then you do this one, and then you do these squiggle things on the side, and then you come back up and you knit these wings. I'm working on the second wing, and then I will be almost done. And you can see I got my, hang on, it gets complicated to show after a while. So this is my first wing, and I'm doing black and white with hot pink. I'm gonna knit a whole series of black and white shawls after this. I'm really digging the black and white. So that's my first wing. And then my other sections and my braid section, which like this is my favorite one because I love these. I'm being so rude. I should do this. I like the big chunky braids. Like that's probably my favorite part of this whole pattern. And I'm right now working, you can see, on the second section. And what happens is that you just pick up a stitch. You actually knit the border first, and then you attach the stripes to the border every single time. You just pick up a stitch from the back side of the border, and then you don't have to sew it together, which is really great. So that is what I'm working on for Knitwits tonight. And just as a reminder, Knitwits is kind of like a stream that I'm doing whenever I really feel like watching other people's content and talking about it. Sometimes I might be watching actual nitwits. Sometimes I might be watching people who I end up thinking are smart. Who knows? But tonight we're going to be watching CHRISSIE MAYR with Karen Smith, and we're going to be commenting on that. So guys, please mount that like button for me. If you're here for the drama, you're here for the intrigue, you're here for the epic amount of shit talking that I'm about to do about both these bitches. You know what? I actually really think it's a shame that Keri has chosen to involve herself with these people. First of all, I think it's a shame that Keri is just living life completely obsessed with me to begin with. But I think it's actually doubly a shame that Keri has chosen to involve herself with these people, probably because Keri used to manage comedy before, well, Keri's still an SJW, but like before she left the left or whatever. But like the reason I say it's a shame is Keri is like actually so much smarter than this, but Keri is behaving like a petulant child that was really desperate to be in the cool kids club in high school. And now Keri just spends all of her time trying to prove that she is worthy of being in the cool kids club. And the shame of it is she perceives CHRISSIE MAYR to be like the popular girl when CHRISSIE MAYR in fact is a well, you know what? I mean, here's the thing, isn't it? It's like the queen of the mean girls was always a bitch, wasn't she? That excuse me. I'm also getting a cold, so this is definitely probably a great idea that's not going to backfire at all. No, but like in high school, the queen of the mean girls was always like a dumb bitch. Always. Inevitably. But for some reason, maybe Keri is trying to relive her like high school fantasy where like she was included or something. I don't know. I feel like this is a pattern in Keri's life that's repeating because there is no other explanation for why Keri is associating with these people. She is far smarter than all of these people. I just don't understand it at all. Mm. Yes, it is a completely dumb. It is a tactical maneuver. Because I think that's like just the clique that Keri made friends with or something. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, Allotrope says these girls peaked in high school. Did they ever? And even John Morgan. And listen, I agree with this. Keri could do so much better than this. Ever since Keri got fired from Unsafe Space and then was threatened to be sued by Carter for defaming him on the internet, ever since Keri got fired from Unsafe Space, she has been just like hanging out with like the most dumb people in the world. And I just think it's too bad. I mean, what like, and here's the question I have is like, was Keri like always like this type of person and Carter kind of made her look better? I really don't know the answer to that. Oh God, don't mix them up. Keri Lake is awesome, not to be confused with Keri Smith at all. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Mark Robichaud says, when you're smart, you surround yourself with dumb people. Well, like Tim Pool does, right? Where Tim Pool is always the smartest person in the room, unless he's really trying to kiss up to someone and learn from them. And then even like he's using them at that point. But like he does the same thing. All right, guys, mount that like button for me. This stream is an hour and 18 minutes long, which means it'll probably take at least 3.5 hours to stream tonight. I really hope I'm kidding about that. But let's just see. There is, an off chance that I have misjudged CHRISSIE MAYR. And I want to leave the door open because we always want to leave space for the fact that we could be wrong. I just want to leave the door open for the extremely remote possibility that CHRISSIE MAYR is a lot smarter than I originally judged her as. And I want to give her this opportunity to prove to me that she's not a dumb cunt that only cares about the gym. We'll have to see. All right, let's get started.
CHRISSIE is hilarious. CHRISSIE, have you ever heard of the comedian Basha?
Things to. Ooh, what's up, boys and girls? It's the CHRISSIE MAYR podcast. We're everywhere. We're on YouTube, Rumble, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, everywhere fine podcasts are sold. And if you're listening on iTunes, please leave a nice review if you'd like. I got
but is she, Andrew?
Things to
but
promote.
Is she good at comedy?
Yes, but first,
I have yet to be amused by anything this woman has said. Maybe I will be tonight. Maybe she'll be funny.
And also, yeah.
In fact, on our last stream, 77% of people said that I was funnier than CHRISSIE MAYR, even though I'm not a professional comedian. I just come up with things off the top of my head. I don't know. We'll see.
Cue that sexy music up. These guys were also the sponsor of the Orlando Content House, which, man, do people love to hate the Content House.
Because it was the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
If they were there. Anyway.
Who loves Content House? Did anyone love Content House? Because we watched a whole bunch of Content House last time, and do you know what it reminded me of? Has anyone ever watched that really, really horrible reality TV show, Bad Girls Club? Is that still on? So every once in a while, and we're talking like years and years and years ago, because I would never watch this now, but years ago, every once in a while, I would watch like this really crappy reality show called Bad Girls Club. And it was basically like the most trashy possible people that you could imagine, all living in the same house and just fighting with each other like all the time, and just sleeping with each other's boyfriends all the time, and then getting in these stupid cat fights over nothing. And it was like so lowbrow. I'm talking like the dumbest people you've ever met before. That was Bad Girls Club. Content House, for me, was very reminiscent of Bad Girls Club. It was just like there was literally no redeeming quality to Content House at all. And like I said, like we've watched a lot of content on my channel. I can almost always find redeeming qualities for something, but man, was that one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever seen in my life. Carlin, please don't offer to box CHRISSIE. You know I would beat CHRISSIE's ass in a charity boxing match. And I emphasize charity boxing match. For those of you who don't know the joke, a charity boxing match is voluntary violence. It is voluntary. It is a boxing match in which people sign consent forms. I'm not just going to beat anyone's ass like off the street because I don't believe in violence. Don't enact violence on anyone unless you have permission to do it. But you know as well as I do that if I met CHRISSIE MAYR in a charity boxing match ring, I would win. You know that as well as I do. Like one hit and she would be like on the floor. I'm not challenging her to one because I don't think that CHRISSIE MAYR is worth my time. And I would really hate to ruin CHRISSIE MAYR's boob job. It would just be a shame. I mean, I'm sure CHRISSIE MAYR paid a lot of money for those boobs. She shows them off all the time. It would be really rude and inconsiderate of me to ruin her boob job just to have a charity boxing match. I just don't think it's worth it. How much does a boob job cost? Like how many thousands of dollars? Probably not worth it, but maybe I can live it out in my head if nothing else.
The important part is, guys, the recession is underway. Fuel is through the roof. Food prices are insane and people have begun to lose their homes. Yikes, this sounds scary, but there's no reason to be scared because recessions are the easiest time to make money. Take the last recession. Those who invested in property and stocks
all right,
more than doubled their money.
I'm not letting her read a promo on my stream. I don't care that much. She does like this is like the laziest like promo as well. She's like, yeah, guys, people need to invest in stocks.
Show. I'll be headlining. Keanu Thompson will be opening for me.
People pay money to see this
might
woman.
Recognize from the Content House or
why
Gino Bisconti's girlfriend. She's a great hang, super funny gal. Excited for that show. It's gonna be good. And then my next show after that, also in Jersey, is going to be December 3rd at Casey Ray's in Vineland.
That makes so much sense.
Not Violent, Vineland. So I'm excited to do some shows. Get some shows in before the end of the year. Ooh, what's that? It's time for the other sponsor read.
No.
What? It's Cushy Dreams. You know how Cushy Dreams is number one.
No, we're not doing a sponsor.
Is it? These I just like their and a scholar. And she's just smart. And I'm gonna find the right border.
Well,
there it is.
Yeah, because
welcome to the show. The host of Deprogrammed, Keri Smith.
Hi, Chrissy, a scholar.
Gross.
Is it because of the hat? Is it a scholar hat?
No, Keri, it is not. No.
I think I had a theory of knowledge teacher in high school who would refer to the students, like especially sometimes the ones that were just like fucking around all the time, like, "Oh, Daniel, welcome, a gentleman and a scholar," allegedly, like scratching his name into the desk. Like, I think there's something so funny about like. There's some of certain teachers from high school and even like college that are so memorable.
Yes.
Something about like giving someone extra credit, like, or treating them with respect almost before they deserve it. So they sort of like straighten up.
Yes. Yes.
I wonder if CHRISSIE MAYR has ever slept with any of her teachers. Let me put a poll in the chat. I'm going to put a poll in the chat. Hang on. Has CHRISSIE ever banged a teacher for a good grade? Yes or no? She would never do that. Never. CHRISSIE got all A's based on her own merit. But I'm actually really curious to what you think, because to me, CHRISSIE MAYR like basically comes off as one of those people who would absolutely, definitely bang the teacher. Keri wouldn't bang the teacher. Keri was definitely the goody two shoes in high school, but CHRISSIE MAYR would absolutely, definitely bang the teacher in high school. She was giving grades to stay away from the teachers. Oh God. Let's see what the poll says.
I had a teacher like that in my science and math high school. He was from Tunisia, and his name was Taha.
Ethnic.
Yeah, and he was very Taha, and he was such a gentleman and so intelligent. But it was in physics. It was physics class, and I just didn't. He started calling my nickname in that class was I don't believe, and he would like one time he made me run a lap around the building. He's like, I don't believe, run a lap around the building, because I do you know this in physics where they talk about nothing's ever actually touching anything, like your hand is not touching the desk because you're
bullshit, Chrissy. And you don't know
fascinating?
That.
Yeah, like, I'm not judging you.
I'm not judging you. We should say that during sex with people, like, you know, this actually isn't going in you. It's just around you. The atoms.
Right. That's the kind of
the atoms. The
not actually
plum is all over you, not the actual.
Yeah. But thank you for calling me.
Keri is fine with it because she thinks that she's being included in the cool kids club in high school, which she missed out on in high school, probably because she was like not included in the cool kids club. And listen, man, most of us weren't in the cool kids club in high school. We don't try to relive those memories like on the internet. I don't know, like but no, I mean, I do not understand this move from Keri. I really don't. She makes herself look so stupid and so like indistinct from anyone else by associating with these people. I would never. I would not associate with these people for like all the money in the world. I have a skin tag in my left armpit that is funnier than CHRISSIE. Well, excellent. Indeed, indeed. All right, let me see, guys. I'm going to let's see, how many votes do we have? Most of you have not yet voted in the poll. Has Chrissy ever banged a teacher for a good grade? I'm going to close that poll in 1 minute. So you have 1 minute left to vote.
Scholar, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you too. We've had such a busy well, I've had a busy night. Last night I popped my swatting cherry, was swatted for the first time.
So what happened? Like, you just told me this right before we started. Like, you were streaming.
So yeah,
and she blamed me for it. She blamed me for it on Twitter.
Aaron M. Holt and April M. Holt. They're a married couple out of Minnesota.
So on my last Nitwit stream, people were telling me in the chat that Chrissy was swatted, and I called it on the stream. I said, oh, CHRISSIE MAYR just got swatted. Okay, here's what's about to happen is that before my stream is over, there's going to be a tweet from someone before the end of the night saying, Carlin is just so inconsiderate and for doing a stream when Chrissy was swatted, and it was probably even Carlin's fault that Chrissy was swatted. And guess what happened? CHRISSIE MAYR tweeted not once but twice that I was responsible for her being swatted. Wasn't that nice of her? Totally nice. Totally not an unhinged thing to do at all. Well, I'm going to end the poll right here because, as it turns out, I could not have planned this any more perfectly if I had tried. Oh God, what you ruined it? When I clicked end, I'm going with when I clicked end. When I clicked end, 69% of you had said that yes, CHRISSIE MAYR absolutely banged a teacher in high school for a grade, or even in college. Did she go to college? I don't know. But yeah, the vast majority, 2/3 plus, believe that CHRISSIE MAYR is in fact the type of person who would bang a teacher. Congratulations, Chrissy. We've got you. We've got your type, girl. We really do. Divine, if Chrissy was smart, she'd get all the info from both sides instead of a BFF who could get her into hot water. Well, I mean, considering that Keri Smith has already been threatened to be sued by her former partner from Unsafe Space, and considering that I have already filed harassment charges against Keri Smith with the police at like a couple of months ago, I mean, it kind of just seems to me that this might be a topic that would be best left unbroached. But of course, because CHRISSIE MAYR is the type of woman who would absolutely bang the teacher in high school, she just doesn't realize that because she's not that smart, guys. She's not. We have to forgive CHRISSIE MAYR for basically being a boob job and a low-cut top, and that's all she knows how to do in the world is to use her body to get what she wants because she has nothing else to work with.
Minnesota. Aaron has a radio background, and he, I guess, had a show on radio called the Steel Toe Morning Show, and then he left the radio, or like he has like a sassy personality. I think he just like he was actually explaining to me the story, but I was so distracted from getting swatted that I barely remember anything that he said. But basically, we're talking about the transition from like radio and mainstream to like now YouTube. But the show he has on YouTube now is called the Steel Toe Morning Show, and they also do shows in the evening too. And they had just come on the show, and they had just been swatted before they did my show. So they think that maybe it was the person who swatted them,
like someone who hates them.
I think so, but we don't know. We don't know for sure. We're all still like waiting. We're all passing information back. Like, and our detectives are talking to each other. So
it's so terrifying.
Yeah, like, and then they were literally just swatted.
Look at this. Did I not fucking call this at the top of the stream? Rob K, thank you for demonstrating the principle that I told people was going to happen earlier. And you're just, Carlin, the only thing that you ever do is drama. That's all I see. Rob, I'm going to ask you, buddy, to act like an adult. I'm going to ask you to not click on content that you don't want to watch. And if you don't like this type of content, you can go to my channel right now. Go watch Socialism Saturday, bro. Socialism Saturday was good yesterday. Go watch Socialism Saturday. Go watch the interview that I did with Joseph Forcado the other day. Go watch the interview about Thomas Paine with Dave Bennett from the other day. There's metric ton of content on this channel, bro. If you want to stay for the drama, you're welcome to stay for the drama. I just want it to be acknowledged that this is not actually all I do. That's it. But you're welcome to stay if you want this. I don't really care. I offer a variety of content on this channel for all different interests.
Again this morning, like maybe an hour ago or 45 minutes ago.
The beef is
really
that CHRISSIE MAYR has been tweeting about me for like 3 days.
Like, I'm not.
That's what the beef is.
I look at who's been swatted that I know it's like Tim Pool quartering. I'm like, I'm not big enough. Like, come on. Like, don't flatter yourself, CHRISSIE. You're not at SWAT level yet. And then we have these guys that still do it, who they're very new. They maybe have like 6,000 subs on YouTube. They're just starting out, kind of. So it's not even about size. Doesn't matter, ladies. Is what I'm trying to say.
Did you ever watch this? I think it's a Netflix.
How you know that CHRISSIE Mayr's
episode...
fiance has a really small dick when she says that size doesn't matter. You always know the women who are married to men or are engaged to men with really small penises because they are the very first people to say size doesn't matter. It's all right. Work with what you got. No, size does matter. It does. I'm sorry. That's just the truth. Divine says, Socialism Saturday was amazing. The LGBT one was scary for me and my husband. Yeah, Socialism Saturday is crazy. The scariest Socialism Saturdays for me have been about like basically eliminating the family and having all children be born via surrogacy. Those have been the scariest ones for me. Yeah, size matters. It does. It's the truth.
Somebody in your chat might know the name of it. Each episode deals with something different that's like crazy that originated on the internet. So like one episode is about the football player who got catfished by this fake girlfriend, but one episode is about this guy,
Mark,
who just became a swatter.
Mark Robichaud. Mark Robichaud is king of the chat for the night. If you guys don't know what king of the chat is, so basically I have 2 rules about the chat on my channel. I do not have an unmoderated chat. Rule number 1 is don't be a dick. Rule number 2 is no whining. However, when you are blessed as king of the chat for the night, or queen of the chat, as it were, I don't know what your pronouns are, Mark. But Mark Robichaud is king of the chat for the night, which means he can say whatever he wants because that comment right there earned it. King of the chat, you based motherfucker, Mark. You based motherfucker. Welcome.
Whole existence is swatting gamers and YouTubers, and I think he's in prison now. He got someone killed. He actually sent the cops to the wrong address. He was trying to swat a gamer and he sent it to the gamer's old address, and the police killed the guy that lived there. Like they thought he had a gun. He came outside. So he got someone killed. It's not a joke. There's a whole anyway, I'm sorry.
Like
I'm just
stalking people on the
internet
isn't a
crazy,
joke either,
though,
Keri.
All I've heard from everyone else's swatting stories involves them being like pulled out of their house. They have to get on the grass.
Did you guys know that Keri Smith supports people who have literally driven by my house, taken photos, and then posted those photos on the internet? That's real. These are Keri Smith's friends. People who have driven by my house, taken pictures of my house, and then posted said pictures on the internet. And Keri promotes these people and supports these people all the time. And the reason that I filed a police report on Keri Smith a couple months ago is because I had to go have a little talk with my police about the fact that I was afraid that Keri Smith was spinning up this cancel mob and there are mentally unhinged people in this mob. And I was afraid that they were going to get me swatted at some point. And I had to go create a plan with the local police for how I'm not going to be swatted if random police reports are called in. I had to get like notes put about my address and shit like that. And so, yeah, that's why I have filed a police report on her, because I firmly believe that she is spinning up and instigating people that will do this to me, which she seems to think is perfectly fine. Keri has no problem spinning up mentally unhinged people against me literally every day for the past 2 years. But no, CHRISSIE, it's so terrible when it happens to you. And it is terrible. And no one should be doing this shit. But don't pretend to be concerned, Keri, because you're doing it yourself to me. Divine said, well, yeah, duh, CHRISSIE. Gamers get swatted all the time. Is that real? Do gamers really get swatted all the time? Why do people do this shit? It's like, there's a line that really shouldn't be crossed, guys. Going to people's houses, supporting people who post pictures of people's houses on the internet, swatting people, there are lines that shouldn't be crossed. Like, I think we just need to come to an acknowledgement about that. It's so stupid.
Or like lay down and it's wet. You get cuffed or something. So I was expecting like some version of that. And cops were all tall, gorgeous. Like there was like even a lady cop too. She was cute. I was like, wow, thank you for literally sending your finest.
Made for TV.
Yeah. I was
like made for TV cops.
I was like, every one of these cops is really good looking. Thank you. And it's funny because I was joking with Aaron in April. I'm like, oh man, I wonder if that ever happened to me, if I would like have the presence of mind to make any jokes like, oh, you guys are early for the bachelorette party. And then it happens to me 15 minutes later. And of course I'm like, I did not make any jokes.
Sorry.
Such enthralling conversation, ladies.
They like came in, you just
such enthralling conversation.
It's funny to have to explain like what it is that you do to these people. It's like anytime I've had to try to explain what it is that I do to my dad, it's like somebody, and they're at least invested in.
I'm not making that accusation. I'm just displaying it on the stream because Mark Robichaud is king of the chat.
The cops and my own dad, because he would just like check out and like doesn't really care.
Oh yeah, that's
so,
the same.
I don't know.
My aunt is always, because I do gig jobs, which she also doesn't view as like when I had a career in the entertainment industry, then she was like, okay, I know what your job is, whatever. But now I do different gig jobs. I have a weekend job, and then I do the podcasting. And so she's always kind of like, are you going to get a job? I'm like, I've got to go to my job today. What are you talking about? It's Saturdays. But it's this funny way of like referring to the podcast. She doesn't really understand it.
They don't.
Like your dad.
It's a generational thing. I think the boomers kind of grew up in such a different way. They had job security. They would have a job for decades, and like they were not worried about being replaced or anything like that. Everything was more secure. I think it was much easier for them to find and afford housing. Everything's so different now. But it's crazy. The moral of the story is, I should have gone to the police like months ago and given them the heads up. It's just like my own imposter.
Just like when I went to the police to warn them that Keri might do this to me, or people in Keri's horde might do it to me.
I don't think I am.
Yes, Chrissy, you should have gone to the police.
It just means that there are people out there who might want to cause you harm because you're public. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's not even about size, guys.
Not in this instance.
But yeah, you're over 100.
Allotrope says, what's the deal with Chrissy's voice? Well, Allotrope, when you're an influencer, you have to talk like this. You have to wear really low-cut shirts. Don't worry, I'm not showing anything, but, you have to wear low-cut shirts and you have to talk like this because that's what being an influencer is all about, is you can't offend anyone and you have to be stupider than everyone else because really, Chrissy is doing all of us a favor, Allotrope, because Chrissy, in demonstrating what real stupidity looks like, can make the rest of us feel better about ourselves because we know we're not this dumb. And so really, we should all be grateful that Chrissy is talking like this and demonstrating that we're all probably just like, I don't like to say better or worse. I don't, everyone is on their own path. Everyone has their own journey, but we can all feel a little morally superior just for tonight. Just for tonight. Again, I'm just displaying the chats from the king of the chat. I'm not commenting on them at all. Just like, Mark Robichaud has a special privilege tonight, and I'm just displaying his chats on the screen. Divine said, I do have a question. Since she blames you and you didn't do it, is it not somewhat slander? What do you mean? Since Keri has defamed me up and down the internet. It's what Keri has done to me is absolutely defamation. The problem is, and yes, I've had multiple conversations with defamation lawyers about this. The problem is that it is extremely expensive to sue someone for defamation. And I don't believe that Keri has the money to settle any judgment. So if I invested a metric ton of money in suing Keri, I might get the philosophical victory, but it would cost me a lot of money. And I don't think I would ever recoup any sort of expenses because I don't think that Keri has the money. I don't think she has it at all. I know roughly how much Keri makes from this sort of stuff because I do it as well, and it's not that much money. And if she's only doing like odd jobs on top of it, she does not have the money. Maybe I could take her house. I mean, but then it's a matter of like, is the house in her name or is it in her husband's name? I don't know the answer to that. So, and I don't think Chrissy has the money either, if I'm being really honest about it. But, you know, who knows? Who knows? All right, let's keep going.
10 on Twitter now, girl. You're going to get a lot more people having resentment towards you.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Numbers are all that matters to these people.
There's dedicated hate streams to me now.
Yes. She's talking about me. Talking about me. Me. You're getting another one tonight, honey.
I don't know. It's funny when people do that because at this point, I have heard every possible insult about me, and it's like there's nothing original that could be created at this point.
Chrissy, yeah, so. Chrissy, do you think that no one's ever called me fat in my life, honey? Do you think that no one's ever called me fat? Do you think that the 86 times that you called me fat on Twitter in the last couple of days, do you really think that no one's ever done that before? Do you think you're showing me? Do you think you're showing me how what a classy bitch you are? Like, do you think you're being original? My God.
What is the insult you get most often that also is one that least affects you? Because I'll tell you mine.
Oh, online, it's any kind of a horse reference, like that I have a horse face or I look like a horse. Oh yeah, that's like one of the old classics. And it's like,
what
if the shoe fits? Yeah. Keri's like,
and it's like I was part of the whole roast.
Chrissy, I don't know what you're talking about. Chrissy, you don't look like a horse at all. How you know that Keri is as inauthentic as we all think she is? Chrissy, I don't know what you're talking about and how anyone could call you a horse.
Battle phenomena of, you know, a few years back, I did 11 roasts. So it's like, you're not going to come at me with a joke about my appearance or my life that I haven't heard like at least 5 times already.
I wouldn't have even suspected that because I don't even see it. Billie Piper, you know, that actress? Yes, she has a horse face, but you do not. I thought you were going to say something about being attractive, like some.
Hang on. Give me just a second and a half here. Hang on. You didn't see it, Keri? You didn't see it. Really? Hang on. You're going to tell me that CHRISSIE MAYR doesn't look like she has a horse face? You're going to tell me that you have no idea what they're talking about? Really? Now listen, I'm not the most photogenic person in the world. I know that. There are pictures of me that look, oh my God, fucking awful. They're like, there are some really fucking bad pictures of me on the internet. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not suggesting I'm the prettiest person in the world, because I'm not. I'm not suggesting I'm the most photogenic person in the world. Like, duh, dude. But to say that CHRISSIE MAYR doesn't look like she has a horse face, and it's like what really bothers me about this is not necessarily like, I don't necessarily think that, I'm not suggesting, I mean, oh, here's another, oh my God. Like, I don't necessarily think that like CHRISSIE MAYR in the right photo at the right angle is unattractive. I really don't. She's not like an ugly girl. I'm not suggesting that. But for Keri to honestly sit there and pretend that she has no idea what they're talking about, please. Breaking the Flaw says, I don't know how this is productive. This is not productive, Joa. This is not productive at all. This is fun, dude. It's midnight. We don't do productive things at midnight. Like, there are plenty of productive streams on my channel. This is just not one of them. Divine says, those pics remind me of Graveyard Girl. What's Graveyard Girl? I feel like I should know what that is, but I don't know what that is. Anyway, Keri is being completely disingenuous here. Come on. Listen, man, I admit my flaws. I am not a perfect person. I am not. I am a deeply, deeply flawed person. Why the long face, Chrissy? It's not even that. We do have to acknowledge, though, for real, for a second, we do have to acknowledge it's not even a good insult. Like, it's not even one of like the top 5 insults that I could hurl at CHRISSIE MAYR. I'm just saying that Keri is being disingenuous by saying that she just didn't see it.
Where they try to cut you down for being attractive.
Yeah,
like, or just say, well, at least you're pretty or whatever. Like sometimes that's
my response to the horse comments is usually like, well, at least people want to fuck horses. Like,
that's not funny.
Mine is usually because it's easy. Because when people see me online, I do wear a lot of hats. Not always. You've seen me. I don't wear them all the time, but I like hats. I like boots. So the
Divine says Graveyard Girl was a YouTuber. She tried many products. She is old school. Oh, that's why I have like maybe heard of her, but I don't know who she is because I don't really watch YouTube. Like, part of the point of doing these nitwit streams is I really don't watch YouTube like at all because I think most YouTube creators are dumb. But every once in a while people ask me to watch stuff, and so I might as well watch with friends if I'm going to do it anyway. Oh.
The easiest go-to that people use for me is my hat. They're like, your hat is stupid and big. I'm like, okay. It's also the one that bothers me the least, like the very least.
Keri, I promise I'm not going to insult
have
your
nothing
hats
on you when they're going like, wow, Keri wears hats. This is a funny insult. Some guy said I looked rained on, which is funny, and like it's sometimes a little true because like I'm lazy and I don't blow my hair out each time. Like I let it's naturally wavy, so I'll just let it dry and it'll typically just look like this, whether it's like up or down. But sometimes when you let your hair dry naturally, like flat to your head, it does look flat. So like this rained on insult, like a little bit got in.
You get it.
I was like, I need to dry my hair better.
I think it's because you look dewy. You have good moisture to your skin.
Oh,
I do a couple times a day have to spray down the tortoise.
Here's what's going on right now. Now, I want everyone to remember a cardinal rule of life. And if you're younger, you might not have figured this out yet, but people over 30 are going to know what I'm talking about. Life is more like high school than we dare want to admit. Real life is exactly like high school, except you have more money and better toys, and you have access to more power. That's it, okay? But other than that, money, better toys, more power, life is exactly like high school. So, you know how we started saying that the only reason that Keri Smith would even have any purpose of associating with someone like CHRISSIE MAYR, who is so far beneath her in terms of intelligence, is to be part of the cool kid club, because Keri was not in the cool kid club in high school. And Keri is reliving high school right now, live on the internet, by trying to be part of the cool kids club, which she perceives CHRISSIE MAYR to be the queen bee of the mean girls in high school. So do you know what's happening right now? Does everyone remember back to that movie Mean Girls, which is like one of the greatest all-time movies? It's like that part where like it's that scene where they're all standing in front of the mirror and they're all going, I hate my hips and I'm so fat and I need to lose 5 pounds. And then when one girl is like insulting herself, it is the job of the other girls around them to say, no, honey, you look great. You look no, you don't need any work. You don't need to lose any weight. That's exactly what Keri's doing right now. This is the exact dynamic. CHRISSIE's like, sometimes people insult my hair because I I don't always blow dry my hair, and so it gets wavy and messy and people insult it. And Keri's like, no, Chrissy, you're just dewy. This is exactly what happened in Mean Girls. Oh my God.
To make it like the tortoise, maybe he has to think that it's raining in there, or like that there's moisture. So yeah, I could just do a couple passes on myself.
Yeah. My light just, I think, changed. It's okay though, right? I'm in the dark.
Maybe you're getting a message.
Yeah.
More is cold. Beep, 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 beep. So yeah, it's exciting times. I guess it's like, girl, you're if you have haters, right, you must be doing something right. I think it was Gary who made this really great comparison. He's like, in a video game, when you're going in the right direction, your bosses get like harder and harder, and that's how you're heading in the right direction, or you're heading towards the end or something. Or
honey, yes.
And that's what happens in real life. And I was like, that's a great comparison.
It's a great comparison. It's exactly what happens. And I'll tell you, it's the same thing with life. Like, not just haters, but like the challenges. I'll be the cheesy Christian Keri for a second. I just came through something that was really traumatic for like a month, and I didn't. And every time you go through one of these traumas or these like just a trial, and you're like, sometimes you can get very hopeless when you're in the middle of it, and
no one knows.
My friends, and sometimes you can lose faith if you are a person of faith. Like,
no one knows.
I don't see an end to this. Very hopeless. But you come through it. You do. And my friend was saying to me,
Keri's making herself look like a raging fucking moron.
And she's Christian, so she's seeing it from a Christian perspective. But she's like, God's not going to give you anything that you can't handle. And it's like the video game thing. You've leveled up, and now you have this trial. And once you get through this trial, you're stronger. You're a stronger person on the other side of it. And you know what? There's going to be another fucking trial down the road. Like, and I don't know. I feel like I'm just figuring out life pretty late.
Like, no, there's people who never figure it out. There's people who are on their deathbed and like, oh my God, I've been so disconnected from, I have never been fully present. Like,
yeah.
So no, it's like you're figuring it out. And I remember I was talking to Vic Mignata when we were at the Orlando meetup, and I said that same thing to him. I was like, do you believe, God doesn't give you anything you can't handle? Because we're both talking about how people have tried to like cancel both of us. And he's like a very religious person. And he's like, I think God purposely gives you things you cannot handle so that you are reminded that you need him to get through it. It like humbles you in a way. And I was like, ooh, that's neat.
That's what I believe. Because it's all about, every time, like this past trial, once again, it's like you are stripped bare to where it's just about your faith. Like,
yeah,
I can't fix this.
Yeah. Alatrope. If she deliberately dumbs herself down often enough, she'll begin to lose her mental abilities. Stop, Keri. It's not too late. I swear to God, so Unsafe Space was one of the things that really helped red pill me when I went back in like 2019. And Keri was on the show at the time, but I got to tell you, I always liked Carter more than I liked Keri because I thought Carter was a lot smarter. I thought he was saying more interesting things, but I didn't dislike Keri. But now what I actually realize in seeing the two of them separately is that Carter elevated Keri. Carter is extremely smart. He is much smarter than Keri is, and Keri's not stupid. She's not dumb. She's acting dumb right now, but Keri is not dumb. But Keri, by virtue of being next to Carter, looked a lot smarter to me than Keri being next to CHRISSIE MAYR. Like, it is actually uncanny, isn't it? This is why you have to be really, really careful of who you surround yourself with, because the people that you surround yourself, you will ultimately begin to reflect the people that you surround yourself with. Keri has spent a lot of time around CHRISSIE MAYR in the past couple of years, a lot, and I think that she has actively dumbed herself down because of it, and it's too bad. Yeah, this is mean girl talk is what this is. But we're still going to give CHRISSIE a chance, and maybe she'll say something smart. Let's see.
I'm relying on you, God. And a miracle. I pray for miracles. I've had like 5 miracles in my life. I'm not even using that word lightly.
Wow.
Like, they're crazy. So anyway, that's it. I'm not gonna be. You just caught me on a day. You caught me on a day after being very elated.
That's it.
So.
No more feelings allowed for the
No
rest
more
of this
feelings.
broadcast. From David Bowser, what's the best insult someone ever said to you? Mine is that someone said I look like I have 3 half-eaten dead bodies in the trunk of my car. David, you kind of look like my friend Marshall with that. See, you know what it is? That insult is because they're jealous of that head of hair and that beard you got going on there.
See, I have no, if someone asked me this question, like, what's the best insult someone has ever said of you? I would honestly have no idea how to answer this. That's the truth. And that's not because I haven't been insulted. I'm insulted literally every single day on the internet, many times by one and or both of the people that we're watching right now. But like, I truly don't know what I would answer that question with, mostly because I don't actually internalize insults I get, especially from people like this. I mean, maybe there was a time in my life when I did, but like I've just experienced so much of it, especially like the fat stuff. It's like, bro, like I have literally been called fat every day of my life on the internet since February of 2021. You think that that's the thing you're going to get insult me with? Nah, bro. Nah. It says more about you than it does about me. But I actually think that's sad. I actually think that here's the point I wanted to make. I think it's sad that people carry around insults like that because why would you? Why is that something you're even going to like think about or rank or internalize at all? I don't know.
Yeah.
God,
I think the best insults at your content house, which by the way, that compound media audience is amazing. And that's talk about a trial by fire because it'll make you tougher because they go in hard on everyone. But they were very going in hard on me was actually kind of kind. It wasn't over the top, but it was so funny. They made me laugh. They were like, Keri looks like she's I think I had my big hat on that day. They're like, she looks like she's the kind of person who has a lot of doilies in her house.
Oh my God. That's not even that harsh.
I know.
I like a creative insult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marvin Hinton, thank you for the 5.
Oh, they're talking about me.
Obviously.
Oh, okay, let's talk. Well, we'll let them talk about me in a second, but I want to address CC here. Food for thought, Carlin. We become the things we focus on the most. It works in 2 directions. Well, CC, I'm going to bet that you think that I spend all my time living and dreaming about these 2, when in fact, it's the other way around. And I have many things that I focus on in life, dear. And if you don't like this content, you can go watch my other content, of which there is plenty, that takes far more of my time and energy than this. So don't try to be up and do any passive aggressive bullshit in my chat, honey, because I know exactly what you're doing. I also don't know who you are because you've never chatted in before. So now let's hear them talk about me.
Jealous live stream than the one last night by Rhymes with Barlin, Corey Sink.
Hi.
Yeah, it's so funny. She was doing the same thing that we see this because we were talking about this with Aaron and April last night. Every online community has its lol cows. There are comedy lol cows. There are political lol cows. There are Twitch gaming lol cows. Just people who are so painfully not self-aware. And they use a
Chrissy, you are painfully not self-aware if you think that I have any desire to be part of your community at all. Just because, Chrissy, we both have YouTube channels does not mean I have any desire to be part of your cool kids club or your community at all. And I think I made it very clear on the last stream that I did that I have no desire to be associated with you at all because you make me stupid, Chrissy. You make me lose IQ points just by watching you. the limited amount of time that I have already spent watching you has probably dropped my IQ 10 fucking points. And then I have to go watch smart people to build it back up again and go read really, really in-depth books that are complicated in order to gain those IQ points back, Chrissy, that I lose every time I interact with people like you.
A ton of projection, and instead of like working on themselves, they try to take other people down because they operate in a lack mentality. Like, ooh, I see someone doing well. If I can just take them down, maybe I'll get their opportunities or their followers or their.
I don't want your followers, Chrissy. This is where you're not understanding things properly. I don't want your followers. I would sooner shoot myself in the foot than appeal to the audience that you appeal to. Exactly, Gloria. Chrissy, imagine the type of people who listen to you regularly trying to follow along with a Socialism Saturday stream. Actually, Imagine them trying to follow along, Chrissy. It's just not going to work. It's not going to work. I have a very distinct sense of who my audience is, and they have IQs of at least a 100. And there's nothing wrong with people who have IQs that are below 100. Nothing wrong with it at all. Just that they're probably not going to be able to follow along with Socialism Saturday or schools exposed investigation streams or happy hour. They're just not going to be able to follow it, Chrissy. I know who I can teach and who I can't teach. People that have an IQ under 100 are great for your audience, and there's nothing wrong with them. They're fine just the way they are. They're beautiful. They're great people. But I need people who are smarter because I'm sorry, Chrissy, we just need to face facts here. Your audience can't follow my content. They're not smart enough. They can't follow it. We go really fast sometimes. We do. Socialism Saturday is very complex. And so you are welcome to keep your audience who are making fat jokes and drawing drawings that look like they were drawn by an autistic child. No offense to autists. I love you. I do. I love the autists. But your art when you're 5 years old is not good. I know you love to draw, but it's not good when you're 5. I think we can all acknowledge this. It gets better. But those are good for you, Chrissy. They can stay with you. I don't want them. I'm watching this to be a petty bitch on the internet for a little while because it amuses me to be a petty bitch on the internet. Sometimes we have to punch down. I know it's wrong. I know that I probably shouldn't. But sometimes, it's midnight. It's just fun.
Attention. And it was such projection because she was all like, oh, people are telling me to idolize this person. Like, no one's telling you that. Like, are you kidding me? You
that
think
girl
it actually made
Keri, Keri has literally said that I am not influential like CHRISSIE MAYR. I swear to God, this is literally something this woman has said.
You feel better about myself. Like, oh, this is why she's famous. I'm like, I don't think I'm famous, girl. Like, I can give you a list of clubs who won't write me back, markets I'm trying very hard to get into. Like, it's steady rejection all the time, and that's okay.
I'll do whatever I want on my stream, Rev.
I could fucking
you can sit back, you can watch it or not, but you're not going to dictate
like,
to my stream to me.
You choose to struggle, and life is hard no matter what. It's hard to pursue your dreams. It's hard not to. So I am choosing the hard of seeing where this goes. And
because you're on the path where you've got bigger and bigger bosses. And the funny thing about her is you know this.
Wait. We'll listen to Keri complain about me in a second. I already know what she's going to say. Chrissy, you're on the path. You're on the path of righteousness, Chrissy. You are on the hero's journey. Oh, I'm sorry. Keri doesn't have a low-cut top yet. Keri has not yet been fully acclimated into the Mean Girl clique, so she doesn't have the low-cut top. Chrissy, you're on the hero's journey. You're on your path, girl.
I think I'm going to change my approach. I've never really talked about her on videos because
please talk
the
about
thing
me,
about
Keri.
her is she's
so 1 week before this. For those who are new, literally 1 week before Keri did this stream, Keri did a stream with the world-renowned narcissism expert HG Tutor, where the entire point of the stream was to complain about me, which is ridiculous in and of itself. Because like you get to interview someone like that, man. You ask some good questions. You don't ask complaining on the internet questions. You ask good questions that actually have to do with his area of expertise. But anyway, Keri only wanted to talk about me because Keri is convinced that I'm a narcissist when I'm not a narcissist. And HG Tutor specifically told Keri, if you want to get the narcissist out of your life, you need to go no contact, Keri. That means no posts, no talking about the person. It means you have to tell your friends not to tell you when that person is talking about you. Going no contact is the only way to get rid of the narcissist, Keri. So literally 1 week before this, Keri gets advice that says the best way to get me out of her life is to go completely no contact. Stop talking about me. Stop posting about me. Stop following the account that Keri follows stalking me. Stop liking tweets about me. Stop doing anything related to me at all. So now Keri has this really good advice. It's like, okay, Carlin is a narcissist and I just need to go no contact. Within 1 week, Keri is now announcing on CHRISSIE Mayr's show that Keri is opening the door to talking about me all the time on the internet. So does Keri Smith really think I'm a narcissist? Does she really? Or is Keri Smith specifically and deliberately ignoring the very good advice that she got from HG Tutor to stop talking about me? Because one of those things is true. Keri has been running around the internet for 2 fucking years saying that I'm a narcissist, I'm a sociopath, I'm a psychopath, I am all manner of things. I am words that I will not repeat on this stream. She's been doing that to me for 2 years. Then a week ago, she gets advice that the only way to get rid of the narcissist in your life is to stop talking about them. And Keri proceeds to immediately spend the next week talking about me and then goes on CHRISSIE Mayr's stream and declares she's going to further talk about me. Either Keri doesn't really think I'm a narcissist and she's just saying that because she's been smearing me on the internet for 2 years, or Keri does believe I'm a narcissist and she is making the conscious and deliberate choice to ignore the very good advice that she got from HG Tutor. To be very clear, I would welcome Keri going no contact with me. I think that would be great. My life would be dramatically improved if Keri Smith would finally, and at long last, after 2 years of talking about me almost every single day, and I am documenting this right now. There is a whole thread pinned to the top of my Twitter where I am literally documenting this whole saga from the very beginning. It's taking a minute because I don't like to look at it, so it's not going to be done right away, but I'm documenting this whole saga of how this started. It was started by Keri, and actual documentation and receipts so that you can see for yourself how many times Keri has done this shit to me on the internet. It is in the thousands. It is in the thousands. So I think it's time for Keri to go no contact. I think that would be pretty great. AD says, I have a low cup top on, Carlin. AD, you tease, AD. Why would you do that to us over Super Chat? You tease. And then Divine says, yes, Carlin, let the liberty be open. Read Hunty, let the shade flow, fan pop. All right, Divine, thank you for the Super Chat. Mark Robichaud, taking advantage of his king of the chat privilege. Keep it coming, Mark. You're cracking me up over here.
Obsessive. Like, she's the kind of...
No.
With me, it's like a single white female, a little bit, with her former writing partner, this guy that she's stalking from the UK.
My former writing partner that I'm stalking? Okay. This is another lie that Keri has told about me all over the internet. I had a business partner, not just a writing partner. We were starting a business together. Business partner who was told no when he didn't want to be told no. And he proceeded to have a psychological break right in front of me on Zoom and epically lose his shit. He destroyed a business that I had invested thousands of dollars in, that we had been working on for months, something I had planned my entire year around. He destroyed our business. He had a massive psychological break. And then he proceeded to become a raging lunatic on the internet, where he was just lying and smearing me all over the place. Now, what people don't realize about this is, A, because Keri has taken his photoshopped bullshit and spread it all over the internet, they think that I'm the crazy one because he put these things that we were like privately messaging and DMing each other back and forth when we were joking and bantering. He put them out on the internet like they were serious. What Keri doesn't understand is that me and this person, we're talking 90% of our conversations were on Zoom. They were not over DM. So Keri, yes, this is the queen himself. Keri assumes she knows the nature of our relationship, and she assumes that she knows what happened when Keri has no fucking idea. No one does except for me and him, because it all happened on Zoom. And then he had a massive psychological break right in front of me. I was scared to death for months for his psychological health, and I actually wasn't the only one who was scared for his psychological health. There were multiple people in my community who all knew him who were also scared for his psychological health because he was acting like a raging lunatic on Twitter, instigated by Keri. Keri and him ended up connecting at some point, and Keri would instigate him literally every day. Keri would shower him with attention and praise if he was just lying about and smearing me on the internet. What Keri also doesn't know is that what this person did to me, he has done to at least 4 other women that I know of. What I mean by that is he gets told no, and then he goes on a massive tirade against that person, makes stuff up that has no basis in reality, lies and smears that person all over the place. He's done this to at least 4 other women that I know about. And I know this because the woman that he was claiming was an ex-girlfriend, I got in touch with her, and she told me everything that he ever told me about her was not true. And I know he's done this to at least 4 other people. He has, it's mind-bogglingly bad, and it's a sad thing. I don't even want to go into much more detail, like publicly, but like, it is a sad thing. It is really sad that someone who has a psychological break destroys a business that he was working on for months, then goes on an internet tirade where he connects with this woman who instigates him over and over and over and over and over and over again until his reputation is completely destroyed. She looks like a fucking lunatic, all because she hates me so much because Keri has a dissociative disorder that she does not want to acknowledge, and because of her dissociative disorder has convinced herself that I am her abusive mother. How do I know? that Keri believes that I'm her abusive mother, because Keri has literally written an essay on her Substack about how I'm her abusive mother. So, let's see. Oh, we've got haters in the house. Haters in your house. Do your viewers know you're lying? Any of them can do a Twitter search and find thousands of posts about Keri and not the other way around. Try it. Yellow Stash, you're welcome to refer to the pinned tweet at the top of my Twitter, because I got a whole thread going, honey. I got an entire thread going. We're going to keep building this thread out. But for right now, you can be blocked. Goodbye. So in other words, Keri thinks she knows what's going on, but what really happened is there was a mentally unstable man who had a breakdown. He had a lot of people worried about him, but he acted like such a fucking lunatic that at some point we just gave up. We gave up trying to help him. We gave up trying to reach him. And Keri thinks that that's stalking. No, Keri, we were desperately worried for his mental health, because I had seen him break down right fucking in front of me. And instead of getting the help he needed, which would have been the most advantageous thing for him to do, he was instead instigated by you to act like a fucking lunatic, all in your sick revenge strategy against me, because you have a dissociative disorder and are convinced that I am your abusive mother, when I am not your abusive mother, Keri. Yeah, there are people in our community who even offered to give Keri money for therapy. We have even reached out to Keri's pastor on multiple occasions saying, can you just stage an intervention, because this shit has gotten way out of hand. I have even personally offered to have a healing conversation with Keri that is mediated by Keri's pastor and my life coach. That's real. That's all real. I have tried to resolve this bullshit on like multiple occasions like an adult. But Keri, because she can't handle that, because she's fucked in the head, just keeps doing this.
It's like gosh, it's like Fatal Attraction. It's different with different people, but she becomes attached like a barnacle. And the thing is, and I know she's going to cut this because I never talk about her. And
no, I'm not going to.
She's done like 40.
Wait, what?
Plus videos on.
Wait, what? Listen, okay. Members of my community, pay attention. Pay attention to what Keri just said.
With me, it's like
listen to this.
Single white female.
Check this
a little
out.
bit with her former writing partner, this guy that she's stalking from the
UK.
No,
we've already established this. No stalking,
gosh,
Keri.
It's like Fatal Attraction. It's different with different people, but she becomes attached like a barnacle. And the thing is,
Keri, you really want me to sue you for defamation, don't you?
I never talk about her, and she's done like 40 plus videos on me, and
I've done 40 plus videos about Keri. I've done 40 plus videos. Members of my community, is there any reality at all, in which I have done 40 plus videos about Keri Smith? Yes, Keri did just say she never talks about me. Yeah, she did. Yeah. Yeah, she never talks about me. She never talks about me at all. Yeah, exactly. Now, is there any reality that exists that I have done for? I would like everyone to open my YouTube channel in a separate browser window right now and search for Keri Smith on my YouTube channel. I have done videos about Keri. I absolutely have. I have not done 40 of them. The idea that, yeah, maybe 4. Because this shit's been going on for 2 years. This has been going on for 2 straight years, every day of my life. I did a couple of sassy Saturdays about her because, you know what, Keri, you produce content on the internet. I'm allowed. I did a stream back in February where I demonstrated Keri's level of psychosis by showing every single tweet that Keri had sent about me for 2 months. There were over 90 of them. Between the months of December and December of 2021 and February of 2022, Keri Smith sent over 90 tweets about me. She sent more than one tweet per day about me. And so I did a whole stream in February. It was like 3.5 hours long, where I literally walked through every single tweet that Keri had sent about me in a couple of months. And there were over 90 of them. And this woman wants to claim that she never talks about me? Okay, Keri, that's a nice story. That's a nice story. All right.
I wouldn't have
Like-
either had she not done a dedicated live stream. It's
Live
like,
stream.
girl, there's better uses of your time.
There are far better uses of my time. But you know what, Chrissy? You want to keep calling me fat on Twitter, honey? Then I will. Nitwit streams are at night, bro. Like, I can do as many of these as I want. I can keep calling you stupid on the internet. Like, I have no problem with that, Chrissy. If you want to keep talking about me on Twitter and obsessing about me on Twitter, then we can keep going round and round about this, girl. I have absolutely no gumption about giving this up. You will not win this fight. I promise you. You will not win this fight. John Morgan says I have like 8 videos on Keri. There is a big difference between 8 and 40, Keri. A very large difference indeed. And remember, Keri is supposed to be under a strict no contact regime if she actually believes I'm a narcissist. And here she is talking about me on the internet.
Right. But the thing is, I think I'm gonna I think at some point. Oh, Planet Fitness. She how can I say this?
How can you say it, Keri?
I think I'm over my policy of just straight up not saying something.
Giving up the no
that
contact
also doesn't
regime.
mean I'm gonna do like some fucking response video, which is so lame. Like that's what she wants. And I don't, that's not.
Keri, every time you talk about me, every single time I'm going to respond to you. Every single time you talk about me and I find out about it, bitch, I am going to respond to you. Every single time. And I am right now, Keri, working on documenting publicly every single time that you have talked about me in the last 2 years. And every single time you keep talking about me, well, I'm just going to add it to the documentation, girl. And then every single time you say, I just never talk about Carlin. Carlin only ever talks about me. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to make sure that that content is made available to people that you're lying to because I'm sick of this shit. Go no contact, Keri. Stop fucking talking about me.
Not what I want to spend my time doing. I think that's so trashy. Like that's her whole stream now. She
Yeah,
just
and you know
attacks
what?
people.
I was just saying that.
And
I hope she got followers from it.
That's her whole stream.
I hope she got the juice she wanted from talking about me for a couple hours,
Yeah.
and you as well. I hope she gets followers from hating on you. I hope
I don't want to get followers
that this
from
makes
you.
her happy, and she gets all the clout that she
Does
wants
make me happy.
from talking about both of us.
Clout,
'cause
don't care
what
about
other
that.
reason would there be?
that kind of
What other
person
reason?
doesn't. She is not made happy unless she's sees someone in pain. She's a sadist. Like she has said, she enjoys. She calls it psychological fuckery.
Yes.
She's done videos about this.
Yes,
She
I have.
enjoys doing like hurting people. That's a sadist.
No. This just proves that Keri doesn't actually understand anything that I say. Psychological fuckery is not the same as sadism, Keri. Those are not the same thing at all. In any way. God damn it. This fucking bitch. Keri, yeah, exactly, Kara, exactly. She spends all her time doing it. All Carlin ever does is drama.
And so, no, I don't think getting followers makes her happy. I don't think, but if she can put you down or put someone else down, and if she thinks that it's affected you, then her dark little heart is like, wee.
That's funny. Like, girl, life has put me down. There is nothing you can do or say that is gonna top. Like,
I am an evil sadist, and I just want to make all of you suffer on the internet. Yeah, if anything, I'm not a sadist, Keri. I'm a masochist. I'm not a sadist, girl. I'm a masochist.
my lived existence. But
yeah.
Thank you,
Anyway.
Jennifer. I
Yeah.
love you too.
I've now said something about her. I'm sorry.
No,
that happened to you,
that's what happens. Truly unhappy people, they want the chaos and the sadness inside them to be reflected in their world, so they'll create it elsewhere.
Do you guys know
Because
that
it's
I'm
painful
miserable and
to
unhappy?
address your own issues.
Yeah.
It takes time. Matthew Heyman, if you are unsure of yourself, you only have to remember you are not Sam Bankman-Fried of FTX. Oh, is that the guy that was involved in a
Even
crypto
money? They have
scheme
no
or
idea what this is
something?
about.
I have not been following that because of my own like personal information and personal trials and struggles. But from what I understand,
Told you, Keri doesn't know what it is.
Tell me, you advertise the crypto stuff. From what I understand, it doesn't have really anything to do with the strength of Bitcoin and whether Bitcoin will survive. Is that right?
I don't think so. I think
No,
it's a separate
not at all,
thing.
Keri.
But
Not
I
at
want to
all.
have one of the Copy My Crypto guys on. I was thinking like, oh, I should have.
You know, it's funny because like Keri actually did this on a stream that she and I did when we were still friends, where I wanted to do a stream with Keri because I used to have Keri on this channel. And I wanted to do a stream with her where we talked about Robin DiAngelo's book, White Fragility. And I had read it and I had taken notes and I had underlined things. And Keri came on the stream and hadn't read the book and didn't know what the fuck it was about. And so like Keri has done this before where like sometimes I think that like Keri might not be as smart as I give her credit for because like she comes off as like really unprepared and dumb at times about things that she should really know about. So no, Keri, this didn't have to do with Bitcoin at all.
Have one of them on so they can talk about this, or at least a crypto expert.
Yes. You should have him come do the. I mean, they would love that because it's a whole hour of talking about their service as well, but explaining something for you.
Yeah, you know, this is we could jump off this.
I doubt anyone from FTX is going to come and talk to you. I strongly doubt that.
Is like pretty religious.
I strongly doubt that.
And I'm learning this at the same time where there's massive forces to cancel this person is Kanye West.
Oh, they're just changing the topic.
And I was like,
they don't know what they're talking about
with him. Let's see, like, why is he so targeted? And I feel like people get targeted when they are on target.
Oh,
wow, that sounded smart. People are targeted when they're over the target.
By the way, Kanye West did like the funniest thing that I've ever seen on Twitter today, and I almost just ripped out my knitting accidentally, which is why I freaked out for a second. Kanye fucking West got his Twitter account unlocked today, and one of the first things he tweeted was shalom. I was like, oh. Because for those who don't know, Kanye West was massively canceled to the tune of like probably lost hundreds of millions of dollars for making a comment about the Jews that people didn't like. And I'm not going to say it wasn't anti-Semitic, because it was a little bit anti-Semitic if we're honest about it, but like he was massively canceled for it. And one of the first things he says when he gets his Twitter account unlocked is shalom. Oh my God, the balls on this guy. Yes, Sean Morgan, please write a fanfic about Keri. Please do it. We can brainstorm if you want.
So I think this is an interesting clip from Kanye, and I think he's talking about the inner workings of Hollywood.
Scary. They can't control you. They can't. They try to suppress you, but that's how they try to categorize.
They can't control me. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me. You
Not
see, it
you.
ain't no name I won't name. It's up.
Not you.
You know what I'm saying? And just for Minister Farrakhan, I love you, but the way you read that, I took that as a slight. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking no disrespect from nobody. So let's get on the phone. Let's talk that out. I don't care who you are. I ain't taking no slice from nobody, right? I ain't taking no slice from nobody. It's God. That's the only person that I serve. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
Me too.
You understand?
Yeah. Appreciate
Michael Jordan. What about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. You're out in Hollywood. A lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control.
All right. I just want to acknowledge Mark Robichaud. Well, I got to take care of my beautiful daughter and give her mommy a break. Take care, Carlin. I'm glad you're well. I love dunking on Tim, and I'm glad you do too. Ha, ha, ha. Well, thank you for stopping by, Mark. Have fun with your daughter tonight. Have a good one. Guys, mount that like button if you are enjoying this drama-filled stream. And just as a reminder, if you don't like the drama and the bitchiness, then you can avail yourself of some of the more proper content that I do on my channel. I've done some great stuff this week, including an interview with Dave Benner about the life of radicalism that is Thomas Paine, including an interview with Joseph Ford Cotto where we broke down the midterm, said some really smart things. I was just making clips from that stream today. We've got Schools Exposed stream. We've got Socialism Saturday. Lots of non-bitchy, non-drama content on the channel. But I will have my dessert every once in a while. It's almost 1 a.m. And so this is what we do on late night stream. Good night, average person. Ew, can we just scroll through your thousands of tweets about Keri? Well, you can go to the top of my Twitter right now where I am working on the definitive thread of Keri's thousands of tweets about me. And you can go avail yourself of that. The short version of what happened between me and Keri is that Keri became obsessed with me somewhere around the end of 2020, and then she blocked me on Twitter without me knowing about it. I thought we were friends, and then Keri posted private text messages to Twitter, and then Keri started running around Twitter calling me a narcissist, and I had no idea any of this was going on. Keri does have thousands of tweets about me. This is incorrect. This is a blatant lie, and I am working and on dark. You think that Keri doesn't have thousands of tweets about me, bro? You think she doesn't? Hold on to your fucking hat. Hold on to your fucking hat. I'm going to show you right now the tweets that you say don't exist. Oh, you went and looked? Oh, did you? This is a Twitter account that I started a while ago. It is not fully updated by any stretch, but the only purpose of this Twitter account, and you can go and see for yourself, it is called @KeriIsObsessed. The only person that the only reason I have this Twitter account is that I'm fully documenting screenshots of every single tweet that Keri sends about me. These are all tweets that Keri sent about me. All of that. This is not even all the tweets she's sent. These are just the ones I've documented on this account. These are all tweets that Keri has sent about me. Every single one of them is a tweet that Keri has sent talking about how I'm a narcissist, talking about how I'm a psychopath. It's because she thinks she wants to think people are like her, but normal people are not like her. Carlin is obsessed. She stalks. She reads everything and watches every video. No, I don't. She makes endless hateful posts. You want to see a video of me doing this? Okay, John. You want to see a video? You can go back. Here's a video right here. This was a video from back in February. It's called Keri Smith from Unsafe Space is Obsessed with Me and I've Had Enough. That's from February 2021. That's on my channel. Go search for yourself, bro. Go search for yourself. These are thousands of tweets that Keri has sent about me. Aha, he's gone. But just in case anyone thinks I'm making this up, I'm not making this up. I have fully documented all of this. And if anyone wants to come on my channel and call me out, they're going to get shown what's what. I've had enough of this. I'm tired of it. Oh, sound? Oh, sorry. Sorry, I thought I had sound up. I don't have sound up. Sorry. My bad. You didn't miss anything. It was all you missed was like Kanye West basically saying, like, I lost a lot of money and Jesus loves me. And that's all he was saying.
That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? And this truth is going to be heard.
Wow.
I can't send none of y'all Meek Mills, y'all puppies, y'all little boozies.
Jesus loves me, and this is the truth.
These people to have to listen to y'all because they're dealing with, they have legal. I never
Is
killed
CHRISSIE Mayer a
nobody,
Christian?
right?
Does
I'm
anyone
the
know?
pussy that never killed nobody, right? But that means I can say whatever I want and not go to jail.
Wow. Okay. So it's like whatever you think about Kanye, and it's like I'm sure he's like similarly to Trump has said things that maybe he shouldn't have or whatever, but like that is a person who you can tell like really believes in God and like has a close relationship and is like he doesn't seem afraid when he's speaking. He knows himself and like just by how much the media attacks him and wants everyone to think that he is crazy, it's like,
Is
oh,
she
he must
Jewish?
be on to something. And now it's like we see all these other celebrities coming out and speaking. Even Dave Chappelle, who I love and is a comedic legend, very safe to take shots at Kanye right
Dave
now.
Chappelle
And then
is
they
a
still give
comedic
Chappelle
legend.
shit over the trans stuff. But
Yeah.
like, didn't they call Chappelle's SNL monologue anti-Semitic? Yet I'm like listening to it. I'm like, what did he say that was anti-Semitic? They're just so.
Cece, we already had this conversation earlier. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. Why do I bother with them? Because I've been beat up by this woman for 2 years, almost every single day of my life. And sometimes it's nice to have a little fun and blow off some steam. I think for the amount of work I do and the amount of content that I produce that people like you usually do not avail themselves of because you only come into these streams and complain about the type of content I do. I think for the amount of work that I do, I'm allowed to take a break every once in a while and have a little fun and blow off some steam. So I'm allowed to do content about whatever I want to do it on. If you don't want to watch it, then don't watch it. It's really that simple.
So quick to slap that these
because I like it. I like being bitchy, man. I'm an Aries. I like being bitchy. Like not all the time, every once in a while. I have a whole website called Art of the Trigger. Everyone has their flaws, man. Everyone has their flaws. I think everyone watching this stream or will be watching this stream, all of you like a little bit of drama. You wouldn't excuse me. Good night, Sin. Have a good night. But you wouldn't be watching this stream right now if you didn't like a little bit of drama yourself. So don't front like, you know, smart people can't like this stuff too. We need to blow off steam as well. Just relax and enjoy. And if you don't enjoy, go watch something else.
labels on these celebrities to keep them behaving.
Truth speakers, yeah. The thing about Kanye, I'm so glad you brought this up because people who watch Deprogram know I could talk about him for a while. I think you nailed it. He's authentic. He truly believes what he's saying, and I appreciate. So I appreciate people who are
Kanye West is
truly
Keri's
believe in what they're saying
spiritual
and are
leader.
not just saying things for clout or money or fame or power or whatever reason. They're saying it because they believe it. Even if I disagree with them, I have to respect that they're authentic.
Spiritual
like
leader.
If I talk to a social justice person who's a sincere believer in it, they really believe it, I'm like, at least I respect the authenticity. You're not putting this on, right? And he's like that. And his album Jesus is King, which came out a few years ago, that album has helped me through so many hard times.
Keri was obsessed with that album when it came out.
Like,
I remember that.
I think his conversion was real. Like, here's a guy who reached everything.
As real as yours,
every
Keri.
measure of success that you can in a society. He reached it all, and he still came up wanting and was like, no, there's something more to life. All the money, all the power, all the success, beautiful wife, family, everything came up wanting. Like, he wanted God. And I think about him and I compare him to Madonna, because Madonna is completely still searching in all the wrong places. She's got this, she had this very revealing interview.
Carrie Smith is the last person that should be judging someone's spiritual journey. I'll tell you that.
Again, like Kanye, someone who's achieved just massive levels of the world's success, right? But she's like, every time I succeed at something, I feel like a person for a little bit. Like, I feel like I'm somebody now for a little bit.
Wow.
And then I don't. And then I have to go and try and get something else because I don't. And I'm like, she knows she can. It's like that interview was revealing and insightful, and she can see that there's something lacking, but for whatever reason, she's still going to the same dry watering holes. And one of those is like, look at what she's doing now online. Like, it's disgusting. I think it's disgusting.
She's a person who's lost and yes. has legendary music status.
Oh, you're new?
we will be listening to her.
Well, Cece, I apologize for shit talking you then earlier. The deal is like I actually do pay attention to people in my chat, and so I know who are regulars and who are not regulars. And the thing of it is sometimes when I do stuff like this, I get people coming into the chat that say things to the effect of, "I have watched your content for years, and you've just changed so much, and I have to unsubscribe from you now." But the thing of it is those people are not real. They're not real. They've never been regulars. They've never chatted on my channel. They never commented on my channel. It's all gaslighting from these different tribes on the internet. And so I apologize to you because you're new here and you seem to be acting in good faith. So I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. But I do interact with my chat. I do get to know my chat. I know who the regulars are. And it's just quite frankly a little bit of annoying and maybe even a little bit of a trigger when someone comes in and like questions this sort of thing when I haven't seen them before. Because a lot of people have done that. So I apologize to you. If you like the drama, hang out. But, you know, like I said, I do lots of different type of content. Watch what you like. Don't watch what you don't. Yeah. I know what I did not know what they were for a long time because this whole YouTube thing used to be new to me. But I figured it out rather quickly. But no, you're cool. Welcome.
Music for generations. And it's you look at her, you're like, oh, clearly that's not enough. This is not a happy, content, well-loved woman. Like you don't need to, like, you wouldn't be doing all that to your body. And just you look in her eyes, even when those crazy bathtub videos came out during the pandemic when she was like in the milk bath, I was like, oh, something's off with this lady.
She's so desperate. That's what's disgusting about it. I'm not being a prude about like, oh, she's taking sexual photos. No, it's that a woman of that age hasn't reached a level of security with herself and of wisdom to not be so thirsty online.
Sharon, I remember you from last time.
That the world
I remember
can offer,
you.
and she's the thirstiest person I've ever seen. I'm
She's
like,
so thirsty.
how embarrassing.
It's all good. Just the nature of the internet. I'm glad we cleared it up.
Yeah, she's in her 60s, like 60s.
You're still like that sexually thirsty. Like you need to have your tits out at 60. Like you had a lot of good years with your tits out, Madonna. Like that was your thing.
Yeah, it's really just, it makes me sad.
I'm not sure that CHRISSIE Mayer should be judging Kanye, people with their tits out.
Here's a person who found everything. He had the world. He succeeded at everything, right? Everything that by worldly standards you would measure as a success. He had it, and he's like came up wanting. And that album, Jesus is King, you know, when that came out, he got so much flack from people and from Christians too. And he predicted Christians would also attack him for that. But I listened to it and I was like, this is so real. Like he's authentic. He sings on one of those tracks.
Okay, like here's the thing about Madonna. Here's the thing. She is legitimately crazy. Can we all just acknowledge that? She is crazy. But you know what? That bitch has every right to do what she wants to do. And if she wants to run around in clothes that were meant for 20-year-olds because she's reliving her glory days, I say do it, man. I would rather people like do what they want to do and enjoy what they're doing and enjoy themselves than restrict themselves because of like societal expectations. Like, who cares? You know, I wish that like I fucking love it when old people are like uppity. I can't. Madonna is old though. She is. I love it though. I love it when old people are uppity and they do what they want to do and they give zero fucks about how the world's going to judge them. I think Madonna is a role model in that sense. In that, again, she's crazy. I'm not necessarily suggesting that everyone do the things she does. I don't think it's a good idea. But in terms of like commitment and like the give no fucks attitude, good for her. Good for her.
I think it's the song called God Is. And he doesn't usually sing, he usually raps. And I love that song because his voice is like not perfect. He's cracking. And it's so vulnerable. But it's beautiful. That he was like, I'm gonna sing to God. And it's like not a rap like he usually does. And just I don't know, so authentic.
Oh yeah, it was released October 25th, 2019 through Good Music, distributed by Def Jam. Album follows a Christian theme, different than his usual work. West described it as an expression of the gospel.
It's great. And you know what, CHRISSIE, I don't know if you saw this back then, but he started going to some mega churches after this album came out. And there's a video of him at this mega church with that guy in Texas. I forget his name. He's like one of those slimy, in my opinion, slimy kind of con artist
I
preachers.
have that clip.
And what's cool about that clip is Kanye comes through as the authentic man of God to me. Oh, his name's Joel Osteen. And Joel Osteen does not. Joel Osteen comes off like a freaking
so
snake.
This might have been at the time, right after that release of that album. Good. Now I have good context for this clip.
Remember when Kanye said this?
Like not taking the responsibility as a man. That's why I say the song Closed on Sunday is the hardest record ever made, as hard as the NWA record, because it's talking about protecting your kids from the indoctrination of the media, the thousands and thousands of images that
Look
are
at Joel.
fed
He doesn't know what to do.
to children by the age of 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And within those images, there are images mixed in that we don't know about as parents that are purposely mixed in to lower the kids' superpower and esteem so that they can be more susceptible to
lower
Joel
their
consumption and feel that they need to consume.
Joel is so uncomfortable.
He's like,
of
we got to a commercial.
numeric system that controls.
I don't know what he meant by numeric system, but
so much of the media. I just had to say it like this. You can rewind it and then do research.
Yep. He's like, and I said what I said.
See, Joel, what I learned about him since becoming a Christian is there's some of these Christians who they preach this, it's called prosperity gospel. And I think it's just as false as social justice Christianity. It's from what I understand of him, he's one of those
He is
people
talking about they live.
Believe in God because you'll have big cars and be financially rewarded, and like it's some kind of a pyramid scheme or something. He sells you prosperity, and I don't think he's a truth speaker. So he's standing there with Kanye West, who's speaking truth mixed in.
Keri is the arbiter of truth.
Thought that he has because he is bipolar and he kind of jumps around with the train of thought is not always easy to follow, but he's speaking truth. And Joel Osteen's standing there like, can we just go back to like, give me your money and you'll get a car?
Yeah, and that's all from the heart. He doesn't need a script. Like that's why I feel really like fascinated by Kanye. Like, I'm like, okay, he really believes what he's saying, and he doesn't.
What is going on with Keri's light? Keri's getting a message from beyond. Yeah. Stop being a stalker, Keri. Stop being obsessive.
Of London pulls the Kanye West wax figure in the wake of his anti-Semitic remarks. Oh boy, that'll teach him.
Keri, you are getting a message from God. Your light is sending you a message from God.
They want him to be a living wax figure.
This is proof that Keri is possessed.
Obey.
Keri's alternative self is trying to take over right now. The Holy Spirit has come, Keri.
Okay. The famous wax museum, Madame Tussauds in London, is yanking a wax figure of West from their floor in the wake of the rappers. What did he even say that was anti-Semitic? The England Museum announced the move Wednesday after listening to the public about what they expect to see. The figure of West is going to be moved from public view into the museum's archives. Ye's figure has been retired, and I heard that they still have Hitler's figure up there, so that's pretty funny.
They really?
I saw a tweet that said that. The wax figure arrived at the museum in 2015, along with Kim. Oh, so this is their thing. It's just Kim. Is Kim now taking a photo with what? Wax Pete David?
Okay, I need to ask a very serious question of people who have been watching my content for a while. Am I this boring when I read news articles? You need to tell me the truth. I feel like I'm not this boring when I read news articles, but if I am this boring when I read news articles, I want to know it because I don't want to be this boring, okay? Like, please tell me the truth. I just did a news stream the other day. I'm serious about this. I haven't been I started to get self-conscious about just reading other people's articles, so I haven't been doing as many of those. But like now I'm actually worried seeing someone do this. Oh, Allotrope says I am not. Divine says I'm not. The article may be a ring, but you are not. Thank you, Judy. The articles I choose are more interesting. I read better articles. I'm engaging. I spice it. Okay, I'm not boring. I was like, be a ring. Judy, I'm surprised you're up right now. Okay, no, but seriously, and this is the God's honest truth. If I ever get this boring, you guys need to tell me. I won't get mad. I know my regulars. You need to tell me the truth. I'm not messing around.
It's in like who's going to replace him now.
Here's the thing about Kanye though. He did say, I think so. I had this friend on my show on Monday who is a Christian rapper. His name is K-Dub True and Chris Williams. And he was telling me, Chrissy, that the thing about some of what Kanye's saying lately, and I guess this basketball player Kyrie, is that he's like, I can tell they're being influenced by, there's some Black Hebrew Israelites are probably in their ear because they're starting to speak some of that stuff. And and so even though I think Kanye's, I believe he's a man of God, I believe he's on God's path, but you can get just, you're still human. You can get waylaid and distracted and pulled in wrong directions. And so I do think he's probably, because he's saying that Black people are the real Jews and that Jewish people are not, like they're like the fake Jews. And I don't know enough yet about Black Hebrew Israelites, but apparently this is all part of what they believe.
Is Kanye a Black Israelite?
They are that Black people are the actual Jews, and
I didn't
some
know
of them
that.
can be quite racist. And so if he is listening to someone who's in that community, well, it sounds like he is anyway, because some of that's coming out.
That's hilarious.
That's the thing about freedom of speech. Like
that is hilarious.
Let everyone hear every side, and then they can figure it out for themselves. They can knock it around for a few months and then decide for themselves what to think. Let's see. Ye's recent comments. What? Are you kidding me?
Oh, Chrissy's being swatted again.
What the fuck? All right. Vamp Keri. Being swatted again. I don't understand this.
Okay, can I just say this?
You guys,
this is how you know Keri is fake. I'm sorry. This is how you know Keri is fake. Because, okay, CHRISSIE MAYR is being swatted, and again, that's bad. I don't condone that shit. Even when CHRISSIE MAYR blames me for her swatting on Twitter, I don't blame. I like, that's not good. But like, listen to Keri's reaction. CHRISSIE MAYR's like, Keri, I'm being swatted. Basically, take over the show. Keri, I'm being swatted. I have to go right now. Keri's reaction is, what? What, CHRISSIE? It's so robotic, and it's like, this is where Keri really starts to freak me out in terms of like how insane she might be, because like it's like Keri's not there. She's not there. What? Like if someone says to me, I'm being swatted, like you need to just take over the show. I'm going to go deal with this. I'm being swatted right now. Like my reaction is not going to be, what? Like watch Keri's reaction, seriously. This is like Stepford wife sort of stuff. It's like robotic.
They can knock it around for a few months and then decide for themselves what to think. Let's see. Ye's recent comments. What?
Watch Keri.
Are you kidding me? What? Again? What the fuck? All right. Vamp Keri. Being swatted again.
What?
Okay.
Lordy Lord.
You guys, if you're watching, this is...
You guys, like, am I wrong that that's creepy? I'm not trying to be a bitch here. I'm really not. Like, that sort of shit is the stuff that, like, actually really freaks me out, that Keri might be more mentally unwell than I have currently assessed, which is, I believe she has a dissociative disorder that has been undiagnosed and untreated due to childhood trauma. But, like, yeah, I mean, she must be on, like, antidepressants or something. Because people don't act like that. I don't want to say she's a psychopath. Like, CC says psychopaths mimic people, regular people, because they don't know how they're meant to behave. I don't think Keri's a psychopath. And people have said that they think Keri is a narcissist. I am not quite there with that. I understand the argument. Keri is obsessed with narcissistic personality disorder. She is like obsessed with it. She talks about it like all the time. And most of the time, people who talk about like NPD all the time are themselves narcissists. But I don't think Keri is. I think it's a dissociative disorder due to childhood trauma as a result of Keri's abusive mother. And Keri was legitimately abused by her mother, at least if what she wrote in her essay about me is true. The problem is, for me, that somewhere along the line, Keri's brain schismed and she convinced herself that I am the same person as her abusive mother. Alexandra says, you're the only YouTuber I've ever followed for any period of time. If you were boring, I wouldn't be around for so long. You've got mad variety. Thank you, Alexandra. Thank you for the support. I mean, maybe it's autism. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think she has enough. This is the other thing. I don't think she has enough self-esteem to be a narcissist, because like real narcissists have no problem saying that they are the greatest and the best, and they're not going to go on antidepressants because they don't think anything is wrong with them, and they're not going to seek out treatment, and they're not going to give over control to anyone. I don't think Keri's a narcissist. I think she has a dissociative disorder. Oh yeah. Keri is working out all her mommy issues on me. All of them. This article is on Keri's Substack, and if you go and watch the stream I did from February, look up like Keri Smith from Unsafe Space is obsessed with me and I've had enough. I think that's the title of the stream. It was from February of 2022. I actually read the article on the stream. So you can listen to me read the article that Keri wrote about me saying I was her narcissistic mother, or her abusive mother. Sorry. Probably narcissistic as well.
This is CHRISSIE Mayr's podcast, and she got swatted last night. Apparently she's being swatted at the moment. So it sounds like the police
Keri's
are there.
like, breaking news.
I've never been on a stream when this has happened. I hope everything's okay. And I don't understand why, if the cops, they know this happens, like when they get another call, don't they say, hey, wait, this is that address that we get calls about, you know, that we get this kind of call about all the time. Do they have to go every time? I don't understand. If you guys have questions in the chat, let me know. I'm just going to try and fill space here until she's done dealing with the police. And you can hear them in the background. Okay. So if you're watching this live stream, this is CHRISSIE Mayr's channel. She currently has the police at her house. Someone has called the SWAT team, the police department on her. This happened to her last night for the first time.
Yeah, the
and
police
now it's happening again.
Here is what the police told me when I had to go and have the conversation with my local police, because I was and still am truly terrified that someone from Keri's online cancel horde is going to try to have me swatted. So I've had a whole conversation with my local police about this, and what they told me is that the very worst thing that would happen is a couple of cops are going to come to my address and just knock on the door and say, is everything all right? Because they have to come and check it out. But that's like really all that is going to happen to me. And that they made some note on my address where, like, if an anonymous person calls in, they're not going to like immediately believe what the anonymous person says, and they're going to look up my address and they're going to see the note that I have gone and like created some sort of plan with them. So that really they would come, but it wouldn't, like, they're not going to like be crazy or anything. Like, they're going to knock on the door, they're going to say, is everything all right? And they're going to leave.
And I don't understand why this happens to people repeatedly. Because it seems like the police would have you on a list that, you know, this is a house that's been targeted before.
They do, but they still have to come and check it out.
I know people make jokes about it, but it's attempted murder to do this to someone. It's not.
That's
no
a little
laughing
much,
matter.
Keri.
It's not like a joke. There are people who've been killed.
That is a little much,
because, you know, cops showing up thinking that there's an active shooter in the house or whatever they've been told by the perpetrator who's trying to cause harm, and they show up, you know, ready to confront a potential active shooter. And there have been people that have been shot and killed by the police because of stuff like this. So I don't understand the darkness inside of someone who would do this. Hello, the front porch conservative. He says, "Don't worry, Keri.
Some of
We've
the
got
people
your
that
and
you
Chrissy's
hang
back."
out with every day, Keri,
Thank
would
you,
do
sir.
this. You
You guys,
understand
if
that.
you were not in Orlando at Chrissy's content house and at the Compound Media comedy shows at the Improv, you should definitely come to the next one. There were the Geeks and Gamers meetup was at the same time, the Friday Night Tights meetup. I got to meet so many people in person, including the front porch conservative, who was dressed like a scholar, very dapper, had a very nice hat on. And there's nothing like meeting people like that you've known online or from chat in person. I love it. I think there's something different, obviously, about real life interactions with people, and building that fellowship is amazing. So the next time you see one of these meetups for your favorite like community or what have you, I would say go. If you can go and just meet people. It's the best. Torgo the White, thank you for the super chat, says getting swatted means she's pissing off the right people. Keep saying what you're saying, but louder. Maybe invest in door armor also. That's a great idea. Door armor. Thank you, Torgo. Ryan, the eating warrior, for $10. Thank you. You're doing great, Keri. It's sad that pathetic people stoop to such low tactics because they're jealous and can't stand free speech. Yeah. I think some people also, Ryan, it's not just that there's all different kinds of dark people who do stuff like this. Some of them it's because they hate you and they're jealous and they want to cause you harm and they don't care if they get you killed. But I think other people, they just think it's funny. Like that guy I mentioned in the Netflix series, I think he just thought it wasn't even about sometimes the people he was targeting. It was a way for him to feel important in the world. And he thought it was a funny thing he was doing. And just very lost person, that's how you get feelings of being someone. Talk about filling that hole with something, that hole of meaning or being someone that we were
I don't get this at all.
That guy.
Again, guys, if I ever get this boring, you have to tell me. You have to tell me the truth. I'm not joking about this. I know sometimes I talk for a while.
Threats,
I'm not great with everything I say, but I try to be entertaining.
Like he was worth something inside, which is so sad.
Thank you, Alitro.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yes, it is BS. It's really disappointing. Anyway. So if you guys have questions, let me know. I'll try and look at the chat a little more. Somebody says
red is the safe word.
You were talking about
red
Madonna
is the safe word.
And now you're getting swatted.
Yellow is you're getting kind of boring. Red is stop right now, Carlin.
Hey, we weren't talking about Hillary Clinton.
Stop talking.
So yeah.
So those are classic safe words. Yes. So our new safe word regime, as it were. If I start getting boring like Keri and CHRISSIE MAYR, like I'm serious, you guys have to tell me. So the first indicator of Carlin, this is a bit much, or like you need to like move along, or you need to like liven it up a little bit, is you say yellow, and yellow is like a warning that just like this is not going in the direction that you think it's going. And then if like I really need to stop, it needs to be like red. Stop immediately. Shut the fuck up, Carlin. And I would appreciate it. Thank you.
This is CHRISSIE MAYR's channel. If you're watching, she's currently has the police at her house. This is the second time she's been swatted and targeted by some anonymous person online. And I'm just going to try and keep the stream going for her.
We will address this on the community Zoom call tomorrow, and I will answer any questions.
Robert Lowry also got to meet this guy when I was in Orlando. CHRISSIE, thank you for the $10 super chat. She says Keri's more fun in person and only 32 years old. I'll take it. That's not true, but I'll take it.
No, she's not. Keri's older than me.
Adam. Hey, Adam Krigler. CHRISSIE's
back. Oh
my
God, I'm back. Wow. Lucky me, twice in literally 12 hours.
What did they say?
Yeah, they just received some kind of I don't know if it was a message or an automated message. It was like quicker this time because I had done more of a chat with them and I've been in contact. Like now they know like to not take these seriously if it's for me again. It just still sucks. It's still like an annoying waste of everyone's time.
Yeah.
I just feel, it's really annoying.
It's an annoying waste of their time.
You know what really annoys me is like she has people helping her produce this show. She has people helping her. And this is like the best they can do. Just so everyone's clear, I do everything myself. I do everything myself. A, because I'm a little bit of a control freak about things and I don't trust other people. B, because most of the time it's easier for me to do something by myself than it is for me to tell someone else how I want it done. But like, I do everything myself. I don't script my content. I do everything myself. I pick my topics. I do my research. I do my editing. I do everything start to finish. This woman has multiple people helping her produce this show. And this is literally the best that they can come up with. I just don't understand. I really, really, really don't understand it.
And it's also like, and then my comedy brain goes to like, what if you ever actually do have an active shooter in your house and you call them and they're like, oh no, that's the house that gets swatted all the time.
Yeah, well, that's why I like people talk about the Gavin thing, because Gavin did a prank swatting on his show, and I didn't think that was a great idea, because I'm like, what if then he's the boy who cried SWAT, and what if, God forbid,
yeah,
people will be less inclined to be supportive. It's just I didn't think that was a good idea. Fernandez T, not an art prank a la Gavin McGinnis for sure. Why would someone do that? Yeah, I don't know. It's like it's like not even enough time is going by for me to like talk to everybody involved, and it's weird to have this happen twice, and like literally, like it was 9:30 last night and now it's fucking 11:30 this morning.
Yeah. We should talk offline afterwards about this, because I have a friend who's a cop who was telling me his just personal opinion about the swatting of Tim Pool and people, and he was like, he said there's no way that they're not able to find out where the calls are coming from. He was very much like, no, there's some other reason they're not getting to the bottom of it. And it sounds like conspiracy theory, but anyway, you should talk to this cop.
Yeah, there's someone else there though. She was talking to someone else. There's definitely someone else there. I just don't think it was
now,
that
like
jackass.
obviously my messages are like blowing up with like all these people who follow me who work in certain areas. So I'm like, all right, that's good to know, I guess. But okay. Jacob McQuaid, thanks for the $5. Chrissy, it would be cool if you did a show with the PD about. I don't know if they'd be down for something like that. They're busy trying to do real shit. Oh yeah. Oh my God, yeah. I'm definitely faking SWATs. Wouldn't that be
Please talk about something.
Okay, and then there's a fly flying
Anything.
around.
God,
you swatted that fly though.
God, this is really annoying.
knitting.
This is really fucking annoying.
God damn it.
All right, well, we talked about Kanye. We talked about.
Well, we didn't really talk about Chappelle yet. About if you still want to try and.
Oh right, I was doing Madame Tussauds. Okay,
yeah.
Cole, Matt Walsh has a good video talking about how 42% of Gen Z self-identify as having mental illness. It's amazing how many damaged people there are out there. Deprogramming required. Did you watch the interview with Glenn Beck and Whitney Webb?
No, tell me about it.
It is so good.
It's so good,
I was
Keri.
so impressed with both of them, because I'd heard of Whitney Webb for sure, but like, man, is she a freaking impressive young woman. She's only 33, but she's like a genius. She's just like a wealth of geopolitical, cultural, information. She's a mother, and they were talking about like all these important themes. And I think that the powers that be are trying to distract us from, like, they're talking about transhumanism, talking about basically like the WEF and its associated, basically not companies, but groups that what they're really trying to do. It's basically like everything in Brave New World. Like, they're trying to create a dumb, obedient, working slave class.
I have to listen to this.
It's so good. It's like an hour. It's on YouTube.
Okay. I did hear about it, and I didn't know who she was. But that's everything.
It's everything. It's everything. Like we all talk about. Yeah. But they were very succinct, and everyone was like, they're both so smart. It's just a great conversation. Discount superhero G&G, we got your back. It was lovely meeting both of you in Florida.
Thanks. I had so much fun with you in Florida.
That was a blast. Big Raj, thanks for the super
sticker. It was amazing.
Henrik Severston,
And
someone
incredible.
calling Wolf on your behalf is disgusting. Keri kept the mood up solo. Ugh. Yeah, thanks for doing that. Wow. Well, now
this
it's like expect the unexpected.
Listen, man, we got about 20 minutes of this left. Thank you guys for being here with me tonight as I suffer through this. This is just as bad as I thought it was going to be. But I just want to say, like, one of the things that is so disturbing to me about watching CHRISSIE Mayr's content is there are people who think this is good. There are people who legitimately think that this is like high fucking art. There are people who look to these two. And again, Keri, when she is around smarter people, is smart. Keri, when she is around CHRISSIE Mayr, is not smart. Possibly because Keri is picking up the personality traits of whoever she is around due to her undiagnosed personality disorder. So, but like the thing that is most mind-boggling to me is these are the people that are the most influential in culture. And this is why we are listening. We are seeing in real time idiocracy happen right in front of us, because this is the type of content that would literally appear in idiocracy. There's important topics to talk about in the world. I talk a lot about a lot of them on my channel. Far more important than this. But this is what people want. And it is maddening to me. It is maddening that this is what people want. But you got to work with what you're given. And all I can do is all I can do. And I'm thrilled when I find people that think that this is as ridiculous as I do.
Expected, I guess.
Yeah.
It's fucking gay is what it is.
It's gay!
And let me say,
and retarded.
This group of cops also
kudos to Keri for
good
saying
looking.
retarded. I'll say that.
I'm like,
Keri
you know
gets
what?
points for saying the word retarded.
Who wants
Was
a
it
high
a different
noon?
group of cops?
Three different dude cops, all very tall and attractive. One had glasses for diversity. I was like, hey.
Did you make your joke about you're here for the party?
No. I had to just tell him, like, look, I'm already talking to your guy, to your detective. It's extremely gay.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry. It's annoying too, because it's very distracting.
It's distracting, and it's also meant to, even though you're handling it very well, I think it's probably meant to keep you unsettled, where you have that background, just like a low level of anxiety, maybe, where you're just worried when you're on a stream.
In addition to the already existent low level of anxiety.
Yeah.
The low level anxiety that's looking through old pictures of me and like unflattering angles. Yeah.
Girl, you are looking good though.
Look at that! They did it again! They did it again! They did it again! They did it again! They did the mean girl thing again, where they're standing in front of the mirror and Chrissy's like, I need to lose 5 pounds, and oh my god, do I need a nose job? And should I get my boobs one size up? And then Keri's like, no, Chrissy, no. You are perfect. You are perfect in every way. They literally just did the mean girl thing again. Oh my god.
Okay.
I see.
And here I am. I'm like, tell me when I suck, guys. I really want to know.
I see the payoff.
Keep the compliments coming, everyone. I wanted to mention this too, part of Ye's cancellation. As we all have heard, he's being dropped by all these brands that he worked with. His net worth went from like billions to now millions. I know, it's tough life. Other brands that ran from West include Balenciaga, Gap. His talent agent CAA parted ways with him.
Is that what happened? That media company built it?
And his completed documentary will also not be shown. Damn. Johnny Depp's lawyer Camille Vasquez also dropped him in just a matter of days after he refused to pull back his hateful words. I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, okay. Oh, this is what he said.
We're almost done, Cece. I promise we'll do something better tomorrow.
I don't know. I wouldn't say this is the smartest thing to say, but I wouldn't go to the extent that the media's been painting him.
That's me either. Here's the thing about that. People purposefully want to misinterpret that. They're just going
Mhm.
DEFCON 3 on white people or on Jewish people or on men or whatever. It just means I'm going to criticize this group of people tomorrow. Now, does that mean that you should be doing that? No. But does it mean that you're anti-Semitic or you're sexist or you're racist or what have you, depending on the group? No, I don't think it necessarily does. I think here's the difference, the way I see it. So he's pointing out there's a lot of Jewish people in entertainment. And Dave Chappelle pointed out the same thing in his hilarious set.
What did Dave Chappelle said? Oh, there's a lot of black people in some black neighborhood. I got to look up exactly what he said.
Yeah, he said there's a lot of black people in, was it Missouri, or I forget what he said. But the point is, I'll say there's a lot of black people in the NBA. If you notice a fact like that, if you say, hey, look, there's a lot of Asian people who get into Harvard, or there's a lot of black people in the NBA, or there's a lot of Jewish people in the entertainment industry, that's just an observation of fact. That's an observation of fact, and we should be able to make those observations. Where I think the problem lies is then when you make a moral judgment from that. Like, if you take that,
just
if
these
you start
two,
going off
we are
into some
suffering with
crazy
just these two
conspiracy place
tonight,
where you're
sadly.
like, there's a lot of black people in the NBA,
and they are saying literally
because
nothing of value.
they're morally superior, or they control everything, or whatever. Or if you said there's a lot of Jewish people in entertainment because they're this.
I mean, I suppose there is some consolation, isn't there, with knowing that if I ever just get like really fed up with the dystopian stuff, or I really just decide that these schools are not savable in any way, like if I really just lose it with this stuff, there is something to be said for the fact that I fucked that up. There is something to be said for the fact, don't worry, I can fix it. There is something to be said for the fact that I can literally just do content about nothing on the internet, and it will still be acceptable content for an audience of people out there. It probably wouldn't be my best work. Let's just, be blunt about that. But there is still brainless content, like a world of it that I can do where it would still be okay for an awful lot of people. And I suppose there is some consolation prize in that. Hey, Rag Room Diecast. Happy you were here.
Nefarious cabal, and they're like, that's where you can go off the deep end if you start making conclusions from that. Or
this
like
is what this is like. It's like eavesdropping on like a phone call between
Chappelle's
two teenagers.
And he's funny. He said, I've been in entertainment a long time. My husband was laughing at this joke. He's like, I've been in entertainment a long time, and the first thing I learned is there's two words you don't say back to back, and that's the Jews.
That's really funny. Good night. It's when people stop you from making jokes and making basic observations is when you go, that's why.
Yeah.
Because where do stereotypes? This is why comedy is so important. Like,
I just don't even know where stereotypes
don't come out of thin air. When someone cuts you off or does a bogus move in traffic, we all look to see if it's an old Asian lady. Like, we're all looking to like do our own, whoever we think is a bad driver.
I'm gonna be really honest. I have never been cut off in traffic and have turned around and looked for an old Asian lady. That has literally never happened to me in my life. Maybe that's just me. I don't know.
All being like, yep, it's a woman or whatever. Stereotypes exist for a reason, and you would be lying if you said you didn't laugh at the expense of someone else over a stereotype. It's just become that like white people are now the okay stereotype to make fun of,
which is getting
white
old
men or whatever
and boring. Like, let's have equal opportunity comedy again. I mean, Mike Harlow, our friend Mike, he does some impersonations of these very quick rising non-binary celebrities on TikTok. One of them is named Dylan Mulvaney.
Yes.
Another's named Jeffrey Marsh.
And Mike Harlow is getting so many Democrats to leave the party.
The Days of Girlhood guy. He went and visited Biden in the White House. So Mikey does these kind of parody videos of them that I think are hilarious and smart. And
CC, you'd never cut me off in traffic.
You can't make fun of trans people. You can't make fun of non-binary people. Like, why? You can make fun of everyone, and in the minute you start protecting a group and saying they can't take it, they're less than. They're so fragile, they can't take it. That's ridiculous. And that also doesn't do that group any favors. Like, as a woman, I appreciate jokes about women. You know why?
Yeah.
Because I can take it. Like it's just a
Right.
joke.
Yes,
Guess
Keri,
what? I've been a
you
woman
are
my whole
deeply
life.
resilient,
Guess what
Keri.
I've been hearing my whole life? Jokes about being a bad driver. Jokes about being overly emotional. Jokes about like, oh, you're getting your period.
Hey, Chrissy, guess what? I've never been a size 4 in my life. Guess what I've heard my whole life? Oh, you're so fat. Oh, go to the gym. Oh, you're gonna eat McDonald's. Oh my God, why don't you eat another Twinkie, Carlin? Go to the gym, Carlin. Why don't you just go to the gym? I can't respect you unless you respect yourself. Even money that CHRISSIE Mayer will make another fat joke about me between now and noon tomorrow.
Jokes about like you're with other women, your cycles are syncing up. So it's like, okay, if you're trying to be a woman, you should also be like, these jokes are part of that because that is equality. Like, are we living in the same world or not? It seems like the mentally ill want the world to live in their reality.
Yes.
It's bullying.
It is. It's an attempt to make everyone as mentally ill as they are. And is so afraid of
everyone is mentally ill
being
except
triggered
for
or
us.
offended.
Everyone is mentally ill
I'll
except
never
for
stop making
people
jokes
like
about
us.
war widows. Good. Yes, jokes about sandwiches. Exactly. Jokes about like, oh, you don't have any kids. Your eggs are dead. I don't know if that's a joke so much as just like an old take. Good night, Mister. They want your reactions. Oh, that's like, I don't know what that was in reference
about
to.
the swatting, probably.
Oh, Marvin Hinton. At least they could play the cool 70s theme song to the TV show SWAT when they visit. The most funky theme song
What would they have talked
ever.
about if
Sorry,
they
this
weren't
is happening.
talking about
I thought to
this?
turn the camera around, but I was like, you're not even going to be able with this mic. It's not like if I had the Yeti, you could hear everything in the room. This is directional, so you wouldn't even be able to hear. And plus, it's like it's them asking for your name, your phone number again. So it's like there's no point in everybody hearing that. I'm like, shouldn't you guys know my phone number by now? You guys should
seriously, if she wasn't swatted, what else would they be talking about right now?
Said you're getting this level of harassment. No platitudes here. It's a BS cowardly act and scary. Glad you're okay. Well, yeah, I guess I'm gonna now be put on the ignore list. Push-ups. It's okay to admit Kanye is wrong. I don't think we were saying he's wrong, but
if there's a particular statement, I just haven't seen a statement yet where I'm like, that one to me is over the line. Like, and I'm sure because he said a lot, and I haven't been watching all of it. I know he's on some podcast. I'm sure he has said some things.
Keri would find a way to.
I think he's because he's talking about how black people are the real.
Here's what would really happen. Kanye could say, and listen, I don't really care about Kanye at all. I don't care either way. I'm going to laugh every single day at every single thing that man tweets because it's going to upset someone. So whatever. But like, even if Kanye said the most anti-Semitic, ridiculous thing in the history of anti-Semitic things, Keri would still find a way to defend him. Why? Because Keri is obsessed with the album that he made 2 years ago about being a Christian, and therefore everything Kanye does is good, and nothing can take that away from Keri. So it doesn't even matter what Kanye says or does. Keri will find a way to defend him either way. And I'm just making it, that's not specific to Kanye. This is just how Keri views people. If Keri likes you, nothing you can do is wrong. If Keri thinks because she's had a mental breakdown or some other explanation that you are her abusive mother, just like she perceives me to be, Keri will not see anything that you are doing as good. Everything is bad. Everything has to be bad. Everything has to be twisted to be the worst possible thing in the world. And it really all depends on her perception and how much she likes you on any given day, whether or not you're going to be on the good list or the naughty list. And we can see a perfect example of this because Keri loved Unsafe Space and loved Carter Laren until Carter Laren fired her from Unsafe Space for whatever reasons he did. And then Keri started shit-talking Carter all over the internet. And nothing Carter did was good, and nothing was right. Carter was evil. Carter was wrong. And then Carter threatened to sue her for defamation. And if you don't believe me, you can go to unsafespace.com/defamation defamation, and it is all on their website right now. Carter threatened to sue Keri if she didn't shut the fuck up, and finally she kind of did. She still shit talks him here and there. Like, you can tell she's not happy, but like, that's what Keri does.
Jews, he's being influenced by the Black Hebrew Israelites.
Maybe she does have borderline personality disorder. I don't know.
But
he's
about
allowed to say whatever he wants. People are allowed to agree or disagree with him. Like, you don't have to agree with everything someone says.
Yeah.
And then completely write
She's
them
got
off.
some
It's like,
personality
I've said a
disorder.
lot of
That's for
crazy
sure.
shit
She's got
too,
something.
so.
I think it's
Or
dissociative
uninformed stuff,
but
or
I could be wrong.
or I'll say something because I just talked to somebody who was all about that thing. Fully problematic.
She needs to go to fucking therapy
both
is what
of you
needs to
in
happen.
Orlando.
Keri
Both
needs
of
to
you
go
were
to
charming,
therapy.
and Keri's hacking was, as usual, on point. Chrissy, did you or your SO try out the FNT edition pie yet? I don't even know what that is.
Oh, is it a coffee?
Edition pie? I don't know what that means. Maybe it's coffee. We did try the Geek Grind FNT coffee.
That coffee's very good.
What does this mean? Wait, is Keri the new Sybil? I don't know what this means. What does this mean? I don't know. I'll wait for someone to explain to me what this means. We're almost done this stream, thank God. Because almost 2 a.m. I'm not even tired. This is how badly I've screwed up my sleeping schedule. I'm not even tired right now. God, something has gone horribly wrong in my life that I'm up at 2 a.m. watching a stream with CHRISSIE MAYR and Keri Smith. I made a bad decision tonight. All right. If someone wants to let me know what Sybil is, I will take a look at it. I don't know what that is, though. Oh, a Downton Abbey reference. I should probably know it then. Oh! No, I wouldn't. No, Keri is not Sybil from Downton Abbey. Oh, you're not talking about Downton Abbey. Okay. Sybil is the woman that had like 20 different multiple personalities. They made a movie about her. Yes, Keri, I legitimately think that Keri could have a dissociative disorder. I really do. I'm not messing around about that. It was a book. Oh, maybe we'll read it. Maybe we'll read Sybil for community book club. And there was a movie starring Sally Field. I think that should be our next book club book. We should read about multiple personality disorder. This is a horrible idea. We're not going to do. We're having Unabomber book club on December 3rd.
I brought some home with me.
Wonder if I should just do my live streams out in the street so I can greet the cops as they come. Maybe I'll just move this whole setup to outside. Yeah. And I'll have some hot apple cider ready for them.
Yeah.
Some cider donuts.
Just have a section of your fridge that's for refreshment for the cops when they arrive.
Like, who's gluten-free here? Who wants a beer? Who? Yeah. It's very gay. Okay. So now, there's more of this. They really want to distract us with Dave Chappelle right now, it seems. So this is out of the New York Post this morning. Jerry Seinfeld says Dave Chappelle's SNL monologue calls for a conversation. Aren't we constantly talking about this? Didn't he say something about
the Jews as well?
What's different now? We get it. Jerry Seinfeld has given his thoughts on.
Oh, look, guys, we got another one. We got another one. For someone who claims not to like drama, I sure see a lot of content from you trashing people. Well, D-Dobs, as we discussed earlier on the earlier part of the stream that you missed, if you don't like this content, you can go and watch any number of other content that I do on my channel. I've got a great Thomas Paine interview here from last week. We got a great chat about the midterms, nothing remotely controversial. Socialism Saturday. I've got all sorts of stuff. You can go watch that. But if you click on a stream called Nitwits, you're going to get what you're going to get. And you can act like an adult and not click on what you don't want to watch. And yeah, who said I never like drama? I've been pretty clear. Like, I like taking a break as much as the next person. I'll do fucking hard shit every day. Sometimes you need to take a break, okay? You need to blow off steam. My God. I'll create whatever content I want and people can settle down.
SNL monologue. Seinfeld, who was Jewish, addressed the comedic routine. which centered around Kanye West's anti-Semitic tirades. My God, every time you read about this, it's more and more they're upping the ante.
Yeah.
And normalized anti-Semitism. It doesn't seem like normalized. It seems like he said a thing, people disagreed with it. Like, why can't people just move on? You know, people who don't want to work with him can stop working with him. People who want to keep working with him should be able to keep working with him. In a new interview with The Hollywood Reporter, I think the comedy was well executed.
Exactly.
I think the subject matter calls for a conversation that I don't think I'd want to have in this venue.
He means in comedy?
I don't know. Oops, okay. It provokes a conversation which hopefully is productive, he continued when asked if the comments made him uncomfortable. Seinfeld also noted that though he is friends with Chappelle, he doesn't have a close relationship with him. So it sounds like he's not friends with him.
Yeah. I'm so tired of people saying, let's have a conversation when they don't really want to have a conversation. They want to tell you what you have
want
to
to have a fucking press release. That's what you want to have, Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Like you want a grandstand.
Yeah.
You're using this
neither of them have said anything funny.
Signal. That's what people are doing with Kanye. That's what people are doing with Chappelle.
They
and
never
it's not
say
even about all
funny.
these people that dropped working with Kanye. It's like, is it even about Kanye, or they're just trying to show like the powers that be or whoever, like just letting you know we're dropping his wax figure. You got to know, Madame Tussauds, we're on the right side, whatever that is. They're just trying to impress.
Well, I don't think Keri's a comedian.
Yeah,
I think Chrissy
Chappelle
is a
actually
comedian,
touched on
kind
some of the funny
Keri just used to manage comedians.
Pushback that came, for Kanye when he mentioned, he was like, Adidas dropped him. And he said, and Adidas was founded by a Nazi, which is true. I don't know if his audience knew that. He wasn't making a joke there. It was founded by a Nazi. He said Adidas dropped him, and they were founded by a Nazi. And even they've got a problem with, even they think it was sort of this funny, because he was making a joke of it. I was wondering, does his audience know that that's true? That this Nazi founded company is like too far.
Right.
But he...
Okay. Yeah, what else did he say? I think he's just using this opportunity to register. Seinfeld goes on to say, I've probably been doing this 35 years now. And early in my career, I learned there are two words. This is literally what she said. Two words in the English language you should never say together in sequence. And those words are the engines. That's funny.
I'm so confused at why people watch this.
Why? Also, when he started his set, he read it. He said, I would like to open this set by announcing that I denounce anti-Semitism in all its forms. And
let's just be honest for a second.
With the Jewish community and all of my Jewish friends.
Oh God, 15 minutes. Thank God. Let's just be honest. The part where they were talking about me was by far the most interesting part of this whole show. Isn't that sad? I was the most interesting part of this entire affair.
And then he goes, and then he folds the note up and puts it away. And he's like, Kanye, that's how you buy some time.
Yes. The controversial comedian also said that he grew up around Jewish people, so I'm not freaked out by your culture and that delusion that Jews run show business is not a crazy thing to think, but it's a crazy thing to say out loud. It shouldn't be this scary to talk about anything.
Too many.
Chappelle said it's making my job
We're not watching
difficult.
them again. I'm retired, at least for
Chappelle's
a couple of episodes.
Has been widely criticized, including
we're
by
watching
the
something else
League.
next time.
Really? You know who I'm not checking in with what I should laugh at or not is the Anti-Defamation League. Like, let people laugh at what they want to laugh at. If they don't find it funny, they won't tune in or they won't listen to Dave Chappelle again.
Jennifer's like, oh, thank God.
Why does every organization have to get involved if a joke falls flat? Why do corporations have to get
no
involved
more, Carlin.
If an actor says something
no
that
more.
falls flat or that
right,
doesn't
Carlin.
resonate? It's disgusting. This is what Whitney Webb and Glenn Beck were talking about. She's like, I just want to get to a point where our government is not run by mob rule. It's literally like mafia-esque workings.
It's run by psychopaths. Like I'm starting
yellow.
to think
I've been given the yellow card.
I used to think it was mostly good people who went into politics. I know that's
I promise
very naive.
We'll watch
a lot of your audience will be like,
next
what?
Time.
But I thought that for a while it was like people who really want to do good and change the world and help people. And no, now I'm like, no, most of it is psychopaths and narcissists and the people with personality disorders who are using it for power and, fame and control. And I think it's very rare that someone with good intentions makes it in politics, because they have to develop a very thick
Keri
skin.
is saying literally the
and
same
they
thing she
have
said
to-
at Content
I mean,
House.
they have to become almost more like those personality disorder
Judy's
people
like-
in some ways, in terms of being
I'll never forgive the cats for waking me up for this. I'm sorry, Judy. Keri is right now literally saying the same thing she said at Content House, which makes me think that it's like a speech that she's rehearsed on like several occasions, and she's using the same talking points that she's used on other shows because she can't come up with new and unique talking points. She just says the same thing over and over and over and over and over again after she's kind of tested it to find out how it's going to play. But she's definitely saying exactly the same thing she said at Content House.
able to withstand all kinds of attacks and not let it hurt them emotionally.
Can I listen to Alex Jones on YouTube? Is that like allowed?
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's to
Well, I
me, I
guess
think
he's been on
Chappelle's
Tim
at
Pool's
this level
show,
where
but-
he's uncancelable.
We're almost
He's
done,
got-
but thank you,
he's
Sharon, for
A
dropping by.
legendary comedian. He's at this point where, like, even if the mainstream were to like disown him, like he's got enough. Like he's set for life. Probably, he can do his own private pop-up shows wherever. I think that's true freedom and true success, to get to
Yes.
a point where you can rent out your own theater, have your own shows.
Yeah. That's what Jordan Peterson was doing before he got scooped up by, I think he got scooped up by
Mama
CAA.
is
which
asking,
just
I
dropped-
think this is in reference to me offering to speak to Keri. So she has she refused to have live debates with you, Carlin? I didn't even offer a debate. I offered Keri a mediated conversation between me and her, in which Keri could have her spiritual advisor there and I could have my spiritual advisor there, and they would mediate the conversation to put an end to all of this. I offered that on multiple occasions to both Keri and to Keri's pastor, and I offered it publicly on the internet. And Keri and her pastor, who, by the way, Keri's pastor is basically running a cult, because Keri has tweeted that they will kick people out if they live in sin for too long and are unrepentant sinners. They're basically running a cult. Like, we've reached out to them multiple times and they do not acknowledge any of it, except that Keri continues to shit talk me on the internet every day of her life while claiming she's just not doing anything, even though it's provable because it's public on the internet. Yes, and then Keri turned around and accused me of harassing her for offering a civil conversation that would have been mediated by her spiritual advisor and my spiritual advisor. And I'll even say this, that offer is still on the table. I know that Joshua would do it. I would ask him to do it, and he works for me in some capacity. So he can do it if I ask him, and I know that he would anyway. It wouldn't actually be that hard. But like, Keri can have her fucking pastor there for spiritual guidance and support. I would have my spiritual advisor there. We have a civil conversation. I would do it privately. I would do it live on the internet. I don't really care. The offer is still there. They both know how to get in touch with me. The offer is still there. If Keri really wants to end this once and for all, rather than just shit talking me on the internet every single day of her fucking life, then we can have a civil conversation and put it to bed. Or the other option to this is Keri could just stop talking about me and go no contact, which is exactly what HG Tudor advised her directly to do, to stop talking about me, stop interacting with me in any way, stop mentioning me, stop following the stalker account, stop tweeting about me, stop liking tweets about me. She has been advised to do this and she refuses to do it. She won't have a civil conversation. She won't shut the fuck up because Keri is the one continuing to carry this on after 2 fucking years. Okay, maybe I had some feelings to get out there. All right.
Kanye and Live Nation, but he was doing his own shows. That's why Live Nation got interested in him, was because he was selling out theaters. And I almost wonder if he'll go back to being on his own again, because you don't need those fancy agents, and they make a lot of money off you.
Yes. They all want their piece of the pie. And I think that's why, like, agents and managers, they're not really biting at me because I was, we're emailing. It's like I'm definitely at a point, and I look at like who these managers represent, and they're all like so much smaller than me in terms of like following and everything else. And I'm just like, oh wow, okay.
If you can't build it on your own, that's when you need one. So I used to be a manager, and a lot of times, so I worked with comedians. My partner worked with bands, and the people that we would choose, especially on the music side, they weren't building anything on their own, really. Like I'm not disparaging the music. Some of them were great, like bands. It's just that they weren't like working to build. They were like, I just want to do the music and I want someone to do the work. And so that's when you usually need that kind of manager person. It's like, okay, I'm going to come in and do all this stuff that you want to do because you're just on the creative. But you're someone,
hello,
like my
Andrew,
husband, who
welcome.
does the creative and the work ethic. Like you're creative, you're a comedian, and you're building something. That's very rare to be both, like right, left brain.
Yeah, and wouldn't you think like there's probably a lot of money to be made off of everything I'm doing and working towards, but it's like, oh no, it's not about making money. It's like you just don't want your reputation to be and then it's like if you actually go and listen to my stand-up, like I'm not really saying anything that crazy.
No, you're not.
It's like I have a 10-minute bit about getting a Brazilian wax. Like everyone calm down. But it's this like, ooh, who do you associate with? Who's in your circles? Oh, you talk to people who've been censored. It's like
it's all
so
stupid.
Scary for people.
It's childhood. It's like childish, high school tactics. Like, how dare you have done a podcast with so and so and so and so and so and so?
Yeah. How dare you talk to people who think
Keri, you literally do that all the time.
K-Max, do you think the handicap
I can point out tweets of you doing that, Keri?
Make them mad. Would Chrissy ever do a wheelchair joke? Crip Daddy's a perfect example. Crip Daddy is so funny. He is a guy who life has dealt him an unfair hand, and talk about making the best of his situation. He is one of the most like joyful, like happy, like he's kind of like got a biting, sarcastic sense of humor. But he's not a victim. He's like, he's clearly like in a wheelchair, but he'll make jokes about, oh, this is because I'm Mexican, isn't it? He's so funny, and
that joke is at least funny, but it's not either of their jokes. That joke is funny though.
Make fun of yourself, and he's such a funny guy. I think people like that who have it so difficult are when people talk about, oh, if God is fair and loving, how could he let this happen to these people? But I don't know. I think these people exist to remind the rest of us who are kind of like able-bodied, like just how good we have it, and not to take your health or your mobility for granted. And that these people, everyone's life that you're in, or everyone who's in your life, you're either there to teach them something or they are there to teach you something.
Or both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also think of that when you have conflicts. Okay, like sometimes God or the universe or whatever will send you the same lesson
over and over
until you lose it.
I am certainly learning something from Keri. I'll tell you that. Can I give Keri a second chance? She seems really nice, and you do too. The problem, Andrew, is that I have tried to make peace with Keri on multiple occasions over the last 2 years. We were just talking about this, I think, before you got here. So I'll say it again because you're asking a genuine question. I have offered Keri on multiple occasions to have a mediated conversation where she brings her spiritual advisor and I bring my spiritual advisor, and they mediate between the two of us. I have offered this on multiple occasions. I've offered it privately. I've offered it publicly. I've offered it again here tonight. Keri won't do it. She won't do it. I have offered. There was Keri came to an event in New Hampshire a year and a half ago called Pork Fest. It's in June. It's awesome. You should come. But I was going too because I live in New Hampshire and am a libertarian, and it's a libertarian event in New Hampshire. Keri was coming to give a talk about being a woman who left the left. The organizer met me at a libertarian event in New Hampshire and said, oh, Carlin, guess what? I'm bringing Keri to Pork Fest to come and do this panel about women who are leaving the left. Would you like to be on it too? And I kind of looked at him and I said, well, I would do it, but I don't think Keri would do it, but you're welcome to ask her because I would do it. If Keri wants to do it, I would do it. This is the God's honest truth. He went and asked her. Keri lost her shit and then went on a 3-day Twitter bender about me to punish me for having him going to ask her. I have offered this on numerous occasions. The offer is still open. Keri would prefer to shit talk me every single day on Twitter than to resolve this issue. If she ever wants to resolve the issue, I am more than happy to have a mediated conversation in which Keri brings her pastor and I bring Joshua and we hash it out. And it can be private or it can be public. I don't really care, but the offer is open.
You get it.
Learn it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then sometimes I think I've gotten it and then I have to learn it again. Like I had when I went through mine wasn't really a cancellation, really. It was sort of, I left the woke world and I wrote an essay about it, which Jordan Peterson shared.
I just got really tired.
So that essay went pretty big.
So it's a good thing this is almost over.
Everyone in my world kind of pulled away from me. So I guess it was a cancellation, but it was more like, I'm willingly walking away from you guys. Here's why. Here's the essay. And I lost a lot of my connections. Obviously, my whole social circle was like woke in entertainment.
Ooh. Why won't Chris Rufo or James Lindsay work with you anymore? I brought you up as a panelist event they're doing, and you got a no way. What happened? What makes you think they're not? What makes you think they're not? Do you guys think you see everything that happens behind the scenes? What makes you think they're not? My God. I mean, not as much as we used to because I'm doing my own thing now. If you brought me up as like a panelist and someone said no way, the reason they said no way is probably a direct result of the incredible amount of bullshit that Keri Smith has done to me. That's probably why. Keri Smith has smeared me up and down the internet. Keri Smith has instigated other people smearing me up and down the internet. Keri Smith has doxed or helped doxed 2 of my friends. So if you're getting a no way, then I'm perfectly fine with that. Absolutely fine. But to say that like I can't contact either of them is just like incorrect. It is not true. And if people can believe whatever they want, but the fact is that I am now working specifically on a program that I want to build that has nothing to do with the 2 of them. And I do have support behind the scenes. In addition to raising $16,000 for it publicly, I have committed people behind the scenes who have already told me there's as much there as I want. So whoever is telling people that people won't work with me probably have no idea because I don't tweet everything.
Woke entertainment social circle. And so I lost all of that. And I had friends who were in the social justice world who publicly, called me a red-pilled troll now, like how sad it was if their feminist friend had become this right-wing red-pilled troll. And I knew people were going to think the wrong thing about me. Like, oh, they're going to think, because they did. They're like, oh, she's become racist, internally sexist now, transphobic, whatever. They're going to say these things that aren't true. And I had to get over that fear. Like, who cares if they say things that aren't true? I know it's not true. So I learned that lesson, right? And then I went along for a few years having learned that. And you think you beat it. And then guess what? The universe gives you that lesson again in a different way. And you come to realize, like, wait a minute, I'm having to learn not to care if people think the wrong thing about me yet again. But now it's
yes, Keri, you definitely
saying shit about me. Whatever it is.
That was me.
You have to learn that same thing over and over sometimes, like, and get even more resilient and stronger.
I think maybe my lesson here is just pack up all my shit and move to the fucking mountains somewhere away from everybody.
You are always welcome to come and populate Texas with me.
It is so maddening to me. It is so maddening to me what Keri has done. And then runs around and pretends that she is the innocent victim of all of this. It is maddening to me. I cannot tell you how many private messages Keri has sent to influencers lying about me. I cannot even begin to tell you guys everything this woman has done to try to destroy everything that I've tried to do. And it is honestly really, 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 really aggravating that I am doing some of the best, and I'm sorry, most impactful work on the local community level in this entire game. And people like Keri have made it so much harder for me to accomplish that because of all this petty bullshit. They have made it so much harder for me to teach people the things that literally I am the only one teaching some of these things that I know of in the country. That's not to say that everything I'm teaching is unique to me, but a lot of it is. A lot of what I teach is stuff that I have built over the last 3 years of being completely immersed in all of this, getting the shit kicked out of me every single day. Every day. I have one of the most unique ways of teaching this content in this space. I know that people respond to my content. I know that they learn from it. I know how to teach it. I know how to teach it to normal people. And people like Keri and the people that are watching this that are going to spread shit all over the internet have made it so much harder for me to teach this content to people. And that is robbing everyone. So if anyone wants to say, no, we can't possibly have her on a panel, you know what? Then your audience is probably going to end up not understanding the content fully, not understanding it to the depths that they could, all because you're doing an ego-driven event that is more about appearance than it is about teaching anyone. And I'll tell you this too, I've done enough conferences to know that most of these things aren't about getting the best possible information to the audience. It is only about appearances. That's all it is. Appearances. And you know what happens at most of these conferences and why I really only do private events when I'm doing speaking and training and stuff like that? The only thing that happens at these conferences is like no one even goes to the sessions. And this is especially true of conservative conferences. No one even goes to the sessions. So you might work on a talk for like days and no one even shows up for it, or very few people show up for it. I'm talking about like panels. It's not just like in one person. They're only going to these events to go to the parties, to do the networking, to do the social stuff. Very few of these people actually want to learn anything. It's so fucking maddening to me. It's like there are real problems in the world. There are real problems. And this fucking personality bullshit where people are running around lying and smearing and throwing each other under the bus to try to destroy their competition because Keri knows I'm about 1,000 times better at teaching this stuff than she is. It hurts all of us. It hurts all of us. I never engaged in this character assassination bullshit because stupid me, I was actually focused on figuring out what was going on and reverse engineering a way to fight back. And when I was actually trying to figure this shit out and was working all of this stuff out, oftentimes in public, to figure out the very best way to talk about it and the very best way to teach it, Keri was shit-talking me and running around spreading lies and rumors all over the internet about me because she is jealous that she cannot explain this stuff like I can explain it. She doesn't know it as well as I know it, but so she has to resort to lying and smear tactics. It is fucking maddening. It really is. So if people don't want to learn and people want to put this appearance, darling, over actually learning and actually figuring out what they need to do, then I can't help them anyway. I just can't. I can only and exclusively help the people who actually want to learn, who actually want to listen, who actually want to figure this stuff out as much as I do. And so if that means that I have a smaller audience, I am perfectly fine with that. I am perfectly fine with it. Because if my audience was filled with the same people that are watching CHRISSIE MAYR shit every single week, I would not be able to teach them. I was not joking earlier when I said that CHRISSIE MAYR's audience is not smart enough for the content that I am doing. They are not. They would drag everyone else down. I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm not saying everyone in their audience is an idiot. I'm sure some of you do watch her, and I'm sure some of you are not raging morons, but a lot of her audience is. They are below the average, and I'm sorry, not everyone gets to do everything. I cannot teach people who cannot learn. I can't. So it is what it is, man. And if people want to put bullshit ahead of actually fixing the problem, then that is probably a really good indication of why we still have this problem going on in the first place. Things have gotten so broken. They've gotten so broken and so fucked up because everyone put appearance ahead of actually doing something. And I am very lucky and very blessed that I now have an audience that I believe is primarily built of people who want to do things, who are interested in understanding this on a deeply nuanced level, who want to be able to go out into the world and actually make a difference. I'll take those people. I'll take 10 of those people every single day over 1,000 of the people who watch this garbage every single week and think that this is high art. This is not. This is nonsense. This is a distraction. But if you want Keri and her bubbly personality to teach you about social justice, then do it, man. Do it. I can't help you. Divine says, do you think Keri being so woke made her develop DID? No, I think Keri being abused by her mother made her develop DID. That's what I think did it. I think it was from early childhood trauma as a result of her abusive mother.
Need more wrong thinkers.
Okay.
We narrowly defeated, well, actually, no, it was pretty big. I think it was a 10% margin. We defeated Beto, that's all I cared about.
That was exciting.
Yeah. My gosh. Oh my gosh.
Okay, a couple more things. Fully problematic Pi, Raspberry Pi game system in the loot bag I gave you. Do not dunk in coffee. Oh, yes, it was like a little computer. You know, I'm still not even unpacked from Orlando, if that makes sense. JR, what did you think about the text messages from Kanye's trainer who wanted to put him on drugs and institutionalize him? Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Pretty messed up. And I think it probably happens to a lot of them.
But it just seems like this is supposed to be this, you know, taboo thing that's not happening. And then clearly
is James Lindsay back on Twitter?
Messages from
Hang on, let me check. Oh, that would be amazing if he was back. Oh, that would be so fun. Yay! James Lindsay's back! Yay! Hang on. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's going to be so fun. I hope he hasn't gone too insane, though. I've been following his posts on the other networks, and it's kind of a little bit insane. He's a little bit, you know, whatever. I think it's great, though. Welcome back, James. This is another rumor, by the way, that Keri and her horde have spread, because with my former business partner, one day we played a game of Fuck, Marry, Kill, where it's like, you know, you get a list of 3 people and it's like, pick one to fuck, pick one to marry, pick one to kill. And James Lindsay was on the list that I got. And I think, who were the other 2? Like Chris Rufo and like Dave Rubin or something like that. It was something like those 3. And I said I would fuck James Lindsay because he has a giant sword. And then that became just kind of a joke. It was a private joke between the two of us that was only meant to stay between the two of us. And it was like a private fucking joke where, I say, I was like, fuck James Lindsay, like whatever. And then like one day we were like DMing or whatever, and we were just bantering. And I said something, I mean, I put this in DMs too, because it was just a fucking joke. And then I said that I had Joshua Psychic if like James Lindsay would like let me go down on him or something. And that was a joke. That never happened. It was just me saying, like, that is absolutely something I would say. You guys know that is absolutely something I would say. But guess what? Even though my former business partner knew it was a joke at the time, always knew it wasn't a serious thing, always knew that I would never actually try to do that because James Lindsay is married. But, like, it was a fucking joke. And he took those DMs and posted them publicly on Twitter as though I was being serious. He was participating in this joke too. There were other inside jokes as well. And then he posted this all over Twitter that I was serious about this and I was seriously trying to seduce him, and it wasn't true. And guess who amplified all of that? Fucking Keri. Fucking Keri spread that all over the internet. To the point where I'm actually pretty sure, though I don't know this for certain, I'm pretty sure that Keri's cancel horde actually contacted James Lindsay's wife about me. Can you wrap your head around how fucked up this is? It was a joke stemming from fuck, marry, kill in a private conversation between two people that then got blown up after my business partner had a psychotic break and after he was told no, and started lying about me all over the internet, taking texts out of context, which were a joke, and only showing the part where it looks incriminating if you don't know that it was a private joke. He starts posting those publicly, and then fucking Keri starts amplifying that all over the internet. Can you imagine how awful you have to be to actually try to contact someone's wife over a lie that was spread by lunatics on the internet, led by Keri fucking Smith? How fucking insane do you have to be? But that's real. That really happened. They still talk about it today.
Verifying it all. It's like, whether it's very bold and out in the open about it, you think that would be a phone call.
If you take every joke I've ever made and spread it around as though it's the truth, that is basically what Keri did to me. Took things that were jokes, that were flip remarks, that were sarcastic, and then made it out to be the truth to smear me on the internet.
Yeah. I mean, he's basically like, you're going to listen to me and do what I say, or I'm going to put you back in the mental hospital. Yeah.
Yeah. Alan Reese, Mitch McConnell has been reelected again. Why Republicans why don't you want to win anything? The guy's a backstabbing slug. You two girls are awesome. Thanks, Alan. Yeah, I have to get up to date on everything. All this like post election settling of who's actually won and where. Billy Noyce. Hey, Chrissy, glad that you're doing okay after getting swatted again. Watch out what you play from SNL. Good logic. Got struck. We're playing Dave Chappelle's SNL bit. Okay, yeah, I didn't want to play that because that's them. The dark side would love. Good morning, ladies. Keri, I love the hats. I'd be disappointed if you came on the stream without one. Hail Simcast. Hail FNT.
Thank you, sir.
Trucker Johnny K on Steel Toe makes fun of himself having MS. See, you got to make fun of yourself. No one is perfect in this world. We all have issues that can either be seen from the outside or demons that we're battling on the inside. So,
yeah, you have to make fun of them. If you've ever been to an AA meeting, I mean, that's where, if you go to a good one, I mean, people know how to make fun of themselves and their problems. Like, people are like, just the darkest humor, but like very self-aware of who you are and what your brokenness is.
Okay, let's talk about this really quick. I don't know what happened to Jay Leno. Jay Leno got some kind of a crazy burn Okay, what's going on with this? Bandaged Jay Leno seen treating third-degree burns in hyperbaric chamber. What happened to him?
That's crazy.
Jay Leno is receiving various forms of treatment. Oh, did he burn himself on one of his old cars? The Jay Leno's garage host lies in a hyperbaric. This reminds me of one of those Bacta tanks from like the Star Wars movies.
It's so weird.
Where his left arm can be seen bandaged almost to his elbow while his right hand is wrapped. A brief glimpse also
and his
reveals
face.
Leno's face is entirely wrapped in gauze. What?
This sounds weird.
It does sound weird. The hyperbaric chamber is to decrease swelling and increase blood flow with good oxygenation and decreased bacteria. What? He got a grafting procedure? Okay, well, that's Fox. His injuries are serious. His condition is good, the doctor said, adding that Leno did well during the first surgery. Okay, this is what happened. He'd been working on his 115-year-old car over the weekend.
Was his car. That's what you joked.
When a fuel
oh my god!
And a simultaneous spark in the 1907 white.
I am getting stupider every single second that this keeps going.
Saving him by immediately jumping on the flames to snuff them out. Oh damn! The former Tonight Show host was burned when his classic car exploded in a freak. I am okay. Leno later.
Thank God, knitting has made this a redeeming exercise. I got a lot of progress.
What a freak accident! Covered the comedian's face, hands, and chest.
That's crazy.
He anticipates that he will make a full recovery from his injuries, but did not specify how long it will
Yes,
take.
I know.
As I'm getting to know Jay, I don't think it's going to be months. I think
we have
he's
2 minutes
the kind of guy who's going to move forward. Whoa. Well, at least he's not on TV anymore, is he?
I think this makes sense. This explains a lot.
That's crazy. You were joking. Yeah. Like, was it his car? Yes, it was his car.
That's bad. I hope he gets well soon. That sounds very scary.
Freak
now this is why I don't even open the hood of my car. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I have a feeling it needs oil. I don't know what's going on in there. K-Max McDonald, what officially got Owen Benjamin canceled in Hollywood? Was it one joke or a general ideology? I've done interviews with him. I forget. We could probably go back and listen to them.
I think he's a good example of someone who had his eyes open to truth. But then went off down this side path of just sort of anything and everything is true and anything goes, and not being very. That's just what I think. He talks about like he says a lot of stuff about Jewish people.
Yeah, he's into a lot of conspiracy stuff. There's things you can talk about, and there's things you can't talk about. Yeah. Sorry, I'm also very distracted on this episode because I'm thinking about all these phone calls I have to make after this.
Of course.
So
she's so busy.
Okay.
She's just so busy. She has so many calls.
Thank you guys for watching SWATcast Volume 2, starring Keri Smith. Keri, where can people find you?
You guys can find me at Deprogram with Keri Smith.
No one cares. I'm done. I have nothing else to say about this. Well, I guess I have one more thing to say. That what we just watched is essentially the epitome of why I want nothing to do with essentially like this entire space. I made the conscious decision about a year ago to divorce myself entirely from this community. It happened after my business partner blew up our business that I had invested thousands of dollars in, after I had already been fighting with this content community bullshit to begin with, and then just got thrown under the bus 19 ways from Sunday. And I made the decision that I wanted to go on my own. I didn't want to be involved in any of these associations. I didn't want to be involved with any of these like people. I didn't want to do like media. I didn't want to do any of that. I wanted to help people in the way I could help people, which is by working with real people in the real world. And I've been doing that ever since. And I've made more progress and gotten more done and have had a much more fulfilling experience ever since I decided to divorce myself from people like that in this space entirely. I never wanted to be a public person to begin with. I've always been better behind the scenes. I don't like being on video. I don't like any of this stuff. But I'm really good at helping people when we're in small groups, when we're one-on-one, all that. So I decided to focus there. And I got to tell you, even though I still do this public stuff because I've been blessed with this platform and I really do think I should use it to teach in the best way that I can, but I got to tell you that what we just watched tonight is the epitome. It is the epitome of why I could not exist in this content creator, influencer bullshit space, because the vast majority of people in this space are exactly like the people that we just watched tonight. That is the truth. Not all of them, but a lot of them are exactly like that. And a lot of them sound a lot smarter on video than they actually are when you find them in person, because guess what? They have people writing scripts for them. They have producers. They have people telling them what to say. They're not coming up with their own content. They're going based on what other people tell them to say that are smarter than them. And then you meet them in person, and they are exactly the people that we just saw on this stream tonight. It is so frustrating to me that we are living in like the precursors of an actual dystopian reality. We really are. And no one seems interested in actually doing anything to fix it. It is mind-boggling to me. So, I would sooner shoot myself in the foot, or as CHRISSIE MAYR would say, lose my foot to diabetes, than ever involve myself in things like this. Like, people want to bitch and complain because I do one drama stream every once in a while. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? And that's considered good? That's considered something to look up to? Fuck that. I'll focus on my own stuff, doing my own thing, teaching the thousands of people that watch my content every single day, that interact with my content every single day. And that is the very best I can do. And if that's not good enough for people, or they aren't learning from me, and they really feel like they're learning better from CHRISSIE MAYR and Keri Smith and everyone else that's doing this type of bullshit content, then whatever's clever, man, it's your life, and you are the one that has to look yourself in the mirror, and there's nothing I can do to help you if you don't want help from me. But I have a lot of people who do, and every time I watch content like this, it just reinforces that I made exactly the right decision to divorce myself from all of this, from this entire space. And that's what I'm going to do. All right, guys, I'm going to go to bed because it is approaching 3 a.m. The witching hour, as it were. Thank you guys for spending some time with me tonight and, holding me close as I suffered through that, and you all suffered with me. I appreciate it. I will be back tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Love you all. Take care. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see you soon.